Yeah, let's go. Let's roll with it, one way or another. You're listening to nothing but the best. Come on. All right. Wake up and grab your coffee or your libation for the nation, right? Let's go. Come on. All right. Hey. For everybody that's out here, my name is Law Nation, L-A-W Nation. Let's continue to grind and shine. It is Friday night. I hope you guys are having a wonderful one. Jam on with me. Come on. Come on. I know how to get y'all rocking. Yeah, let's rock on with this one. Come on. Craig, I see you, fam. John, this room fill up. Hey, come on. Come on. Let this room fill up. Like you riding around in your 88 Cutlass around this thing. I see you. What's up, Chris? Come on. Come on. Hey. Come on. Yeah. What's good, homie? We live like 95 up in this thing, baby. Let's go. Watch how that beat kick in. Oh. Come on. Let's go. Purple Soul, I see you, fam. Appreciate you. Come on, Dion Primetime Sanders. Yeah, he should be doing all right, Chris. Let's see who the first person that was in here, man. I know somebody was here. The Lunatic. The Lunatic was the first one up in here. That's what I'm talking about. All right, Cowboy Nation, as we begin to talk about this episode here, everybody knows that Dak Prescott what he got to do with it, right? You know, what Love got to do with it, what Dak got to do with it. He got a lot to do with it for this 2021 season, believe it or not, like Ripley's. It's one of those things where it's shout out to you, man, for the donation to help elevate the nation. He got a lot to do with this particular season. He have a lot. Let me know if my volume is too loud, Cowboy Nation. But he got a lot to do with this. He do. Jerry Wayne, too. Both of those two got a lot to do with this particular season, because if not, what happened here, we can't move without them. We can't move without them. And we got to figure out a way to make these things happen. Look, other teams are trying to win the division. That's the number one goal, to win the division, get to the playoff, and then once you get to the playoff, bam, anything can shake. That's the name of the business, Cowboy Nation, and we are behind the 8 ball at that, because now we got to evaluate our players. We got a brand new defense. We got multitudes of contracts that expired on our defensive side of the ball, and we got a lot of homework to do, regardless of how you look at it. We do. We got a lot to get done, and the only way this can get done is through the free agency and drafting. But let's listen in. I always like to bring this up. Let's listen in to 105.3 The Fan. I'm going to play their clip here. Just bear with me. Let me play their clip here. And we're going to listen in to them right quick. Just bear with me, Cowboy Nation, and we'll hear them. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Y'all can't hear? Let me know if y'all guys can hear. Can y'all hear the audio of what they're saying? Let me know from 105.3 The Fan. Y'all can't hear it. I'm sitting here like, yeah. Y'all can't hear it. Oh wow. Let me see if I can do it another way. Bear with me. We building the plane while it's in the air. I'm thinking that you guys can hear. My bad. Let's see how I can do this. Bear with me. Normally I would do it through another processing system, but here we go. Spoils of war, right? Let me see if I can. Just bear with me, Dan. Bear with me. Yeah. Let's see if y'all can hear now. It's on their website, 105.3 The Fan. Let me copy this right here. Let's rewind.
An offensive tackle.
Okay, a half dozen questions on us here. How many quarterbacks are going to be on the board at 10? How interested will the Cowboys be, Brian?
Yeah, I think to me that you got to do your due diligence, which of course when you're putting together your board, and it's funny when you're doing that, it always seems that the quarterbacks tend to be higher on your board than other positions. And if you're in a situation,
I'm going to pause it right quick. Let me see if I can do it this way as well. Bam, 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 bam. You're supposed to copy this way. Well, they don't want me to copy it. Okay.
Situation too, like the Cowboys, where the potential of having to know about a quarterback makes it even more strenuous. There's times when you had your Romos and Daks and people like that, you would say, okay, let's evaluate these quarterbacks. And you might not spend a lot of time on them, but okay, where do you have that guy? Okay, that's first round. Okay, where's that guy? Okay, he's that guy. That's how you organize it. But when you're a team, you got to be ready now. That's the bottom line with this team. They're going to have to really dig in on Lawrence and Wilson and Fields and Lance, Mac Jones, Trask. All these guys are going to have to get consideration from the Cowboys now.
All righty, a best position to still possibly get a great player on outside of the first round.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this a little bit, guys. If you drafted an offensive tackle, or you take Pitts, or if you take Pitts, the tight end from Florida, I do believe in the second round you're going to find yourself with a potential of getting a really good cornerback. Melifonwu from Syracuse, Samuel from Florida State, Molden from Washington. Stokes from Georgia. I mean, the list goes really on and on there. Newsom was at Northwestern, was a guy I did the other night. Campbell's another Georgia
kid. What about
kid.
Mond from A&M?
I haven't looked at him yet. But see, these are guys. Yeah, these are guys that I would say, Chris, are like in that right now in that second round, early third round kind of. So that I gave you 7 names right there. I think also the defensive end possibilities there are as well. If you want to grab somebody. The wide receiver, the wide receiver's always going to those positions.
Let me stop him before we go too far down the rabbit hole there. There are some defensive guys that we can take a look at in the draft. And there's always that questioning that goes around the mind of what you do with that 10th overall draft pick too. Now there's three ways, right? Basically, or 4 ways, basically. 4 ways you can go with it. Number 1 would be BPA, best player available. Number 2 would be all right, cool. We've been having issues and warts with that front 5. That's the offensive line. For those who don't know, that front 5. You can go grab a Slater, or you can say, look into this. The 3rd way would be, hey, there's nobody on my board that I like. Let me trade back a little bit. Let somebody else get into that slot, that spot, that space, right? And the 4th way would be, hey, if, and I'm using the operative word, if they do not do anything with Dak Prescott and these sorts of things, undoubtedly, you would have to look into a quarterback at that point. And looking into a quarterback will be waving not the yellow flag. What is the white flag? It's waving the white flag, right? And you would have to look into the fact that whoever you have as your quarterback now will be that bridge guy. Those are the multiple ways. Now, my way would be BPA, best player available. Of course, everybody know that I'm on record going ahead and move with Dak Prescott, not move on from Dak Prescott. I believe that this team, believe it or not, 1 or 2 explosive players away. 1 or 2 can really flip this thing around, bringing in some familiarity with the defense, and a whole lot of things can shake, baby. You think twerking is something, but I'm talking about this shaking is really something, So it's just 1 or 2 players, and I'm talking about key playmakers. Now, he did mention Kyle Pitts. My thing is, yes, is that the rich getting richer? We already got Schultz who showed up. We already got a Blake Jarwin who showed up. But there's a famous philosopher, as it relates to coaching, said if you think you're great at a position, draft again. That was Bill Parcells, by the way. But my thing is, do not short sell yourself by looking at it saying that, okay, we got a Schultz, we got a Jarwin, we got a Hikutini, whoever the other guy's name is, right? Always go with the BPA. Shout out to you, Jessica. Appreciate you for jumping in. Shout out to you, John. Appreciate you for jumping in. Craig English said, yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. Junior, what's good with you? Akeem, skeptical fan. That is dead on timing. Jerry Jones will long be gone. I don't know. That's a I didn't get a chance to read the other part of it. What up with you, Seabirds? Appreciate you, Law Dog. What's good with you, man? What's good with you? And let me see who else we gonna put up here and give a little showcase thing too. Slayer 717. If the Cowboys trade Dak, I'm following Dak. I don't even think Russell Wilson can keep up with the worst defense in the NFL. That's a big mouthful there. I feel you, Slayer. I feel you. People become fans of players, right? And it's the storyline that really draws us to players, right? I was a huge fan of Everson Walls. And when he got traded, when he got to the Giants, what have you, whatever happened with that, it crushed me. It crushed me. And then for him ultimately to win the Super Bowl with the Giants, it really hit me with like a sack of bricks. But Everson, he's the reason why I like the Cowboys. I grew up in the early 80s, and he was the first person I gravitated to. And that's why I love the number 24 and these sorts of things. And it's one of those things, Cowboy Nation, that I feel exactly what you're saying, but I couldn't root for the Giants, right? I couldn't even semi-root for them. I only rooted for the Giants twice in my life. It was in the Super Bowl because I wanted them to beat Tom Brady. I said, dog it, I know they don't have a chance with Eli, but I just wish that they can find a way, and they found a way. But outside of that, man, come on. Slayer, just try to fight it out, man. Just try to fight it through the thick and thin. Shout out to you, Charles. Appreciate you. Uncle Charles, what's up, big homie? What's good with you? Let's listen to the rest of that interview there. And appreciate those who understand.
Are always going to stretch pretty deep. The safeties are going to have a couple of guys there. But I think, General and Chris, if you don't take a corner at 10, at 44, you can select one, I think, that could help your football team.
Well, if you hit the right one and Trayvon Diggs comes back better, I think they have a chance to make corner a strength in a hurry. Is getting a real, immovable big defensive tackle important for Dan Quinn or members of this front office now? And how is this draft fixed at that position?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I like where you're going here, General, because this might be a situation where you're talking about these defensive tackles, and there are some massive ones. McNeil from North Carolina State, he's like a 330-pound guy. Shelvin from LSU is a 345-pound guy. Ohio State has one.
Big
USC.
butt snacks guy.
There are guys in this draft, those one techniques. We have not seen this organization. Done Terry Poe and all that, but I'm talking about going to get a guy that, is a young guy. He's got some tread on the tires. Is a guy that, with like I say, I was watching the kid McNeil from North Carolina State.
McNeil is a bad brother.
The other day, this is a guy the grass doesn't die underneath his feet. Sometimes those big old guys just kind of.
Oh my goodness, I like that said. Oh my goodness, let me rewind, man. Brian Broder said this is a guy that the grass does not die under his feet, meaning that he keep his feet moving. He's always penetrating, getting upfield. I love it. Look at that. I'm gonna have to steal that one from him.
Neil from North Carolina State the other day. This is a guy the grass doesn't die underneath his feet. Sometimes those big old guys just kind of anchor down in there.
Anchor.
This guy could play the outside. He could get to the tackle box.
Dancing bear.
I don't know if I always say the old dancing bear, but the guy is light on his feet. He is light on his feet. Gets to the outside. But like I say, these are guys that are. I think McNeil from North Carolina State, as I mentioned, a little bit better pass rusher than what you get from Shelvin from LSU. Is more of a hold and push the front of the pocket. But this might be the year that the Dallas Cowboys actually get them a 335 pound one technique that they could play this.
Are you guys in favor? Of that 330-pound one technique? That guy that can push that pocket inside. You ever had that fried bologna? You put it on the skillet. If you don't slice those sides, it just get pushed inside. That pressure make that bologna meat stand up. Let me know if you guys don't know. If you don't slice the edges on it, that bologna meat, that heat will make that bologna meat stand up. We need that big meat. Ain't this right, Lord Nova? Yeah. Lord Nova, Asmodeus. Appreciate you. I wish I could put both of y'all names up at the same time. Let me know. Let me see if anybody in the chat ever had that bologna meat. That you put it on the doggone skillet. Don't let it be a gas oven. You put it on there. Put a little grease on there so it won't stick all the way. Don't let it be that cheap bologna when it's about this thick. That thick one with the red lacings around it, whatever you call that little elastic, that plastic part. And if you really lazy, you just keep the plastic on there and still throw it in the skillet, right? Don't even peel the plastic off. But that bologna meat started to rise. That's what I want my big boy inside to do. I want him to push that pocket back so that the quarterback would say, man, I got to flood out. Oh, they didn't cut the outside. Oh, I'm done. I want that big boy to push that pocket back. You know, make that bologna meat rise. I don't see nobody who got the bologna meat, man. Who got the cold cuts, right? Why they call them cold cuts?
Play that position. Yes.
Dan from St. Louis, will we get a linebacker at pick 47?
Always.
Yeah, I tell you what though, there's a good group of guys there.
Let me read what the always a lady. I've been gone a minute handling life. Still much love to my Cowboy nations. You look. Always lady is always a lady. You don't have to say you've been gone. You always on our mind, right? You're always on our mind, and I really appreciate you for your love and adulations and for the donation to help elevate the nation. Hey, always a lady. Always a lady.
Linebackers, it depends on, like Browning from Ohio State is a guy that is, I don't feel like is a, when you talk about, you want those 3-down players. You want those guys that have that ability to play the run, to play the pass. You don't want them to be a liability. I really do like Warner from Ohio State, his teammate there. I think those are two really good inside guys. Moses from Alabama, I think, is a guy that doesn't come off the field. He's a physical tackler. He gets to the outside. He can take guys. Moses from Alabama, I think, is a guy that doesn't come off the field. He's a physical tackler. He gets to the outside. He can take guys in the flat. He's a good blitzer. Yeah, there's a possibility that you could grab a guy at 44 that you're really, really going to like. I wouldn't pay attention so much to like a Xavier Collins from Tulsa because he's a 6'3", 260-pound guy, but he's more of like what I would say a Sam linebacker. Yeah. Just play on the line, take on people. Even though he's had some ability where he's dropped and done some things, I think his game is more just as a true Sam linebacker than these inside guys that can run and finish, like I was mentioning.
254 wants to know, how big do you perceive the need to be at offensive tackle, and is there a third or fourth rounder you think might be a starter in the future?
Yeah, I do. I think there's a couple of guys. The Hudson kid from Clemson seems like a guy that is got the kind of traits you want. It depends on what's going to happen with Leatherwood from Alabama. He might drop down a little bit. I know some people had him initially in that first round. I would be a little bit remiss in saying that, yeah, he's a first-round guy. I think he's more of a second-round guy. Eichenberg.
So when I said he was a second-round guy, people tried to crucify me. See, Big Brothers, he's saying the same thing. I really think that you can still, because I know Slater is better than Leatherwood in certain calibers, but Leatherwood still got a good ceiling, man. You got to look at Leatherwood total body of work, and he played in the college-ready system, a whole bunch of other things, right? And I'm not trying to dog Slater, but when you look at Leatherwood and you close your eyes and imagine him, he got a lot of nastiness to himself, right? He got a lot of nastiness, so maybe, just maybe, you don't have to spend with the 10th pick on your offensive tackle, but maybe you can go in the second round. And I think that would benefit us a whole lot better if we just focus on BPA, best player available, and whoever's on that board, if it's a playmaker, you grab that playmaker, regardless if it's offensive, defense, regardless, but if the tags are touching and you got two of the highest guys on your board and the tags are touching, I will say you have to cheat a little bit on the defensive side of the ball. Why law? Because you got to cheat a little bit because of the fact that when you think about it and you contextualize it, man, we was historically bad on the defensive side of the ball, not the offense.
From Notre Dame is a kid that is probably maybe a late one. Maybe he could get down to you at 44. There's some tackles right there. But, man, the list of tackles in the first round, when you talk about Sewell from Oregon, Slater from Northwestern, Darashow from Virginia Tech. I mean, there are a group of guys right there that are three really, really, really good ones.
That was the end of that episode there. I really appreciate everybody for jumping in, listening in to Brian Broadus. Akeem says, hey, Law, but we must focus on defense. Yeah, we must play sound mind on defense. We got to focus on defense. Here's my biggest reservations on defense. We got a new coaching staff, and we don't know. I don't think that even Dan Quinn, he knows how to drive without using GPS from Arlington to Frisco, right? So it's things that he's going to have to learn. I don't know if he picked out his house, where he's going to live at. 9 times out of 10, majority of the people that move in from, out of town, they looking at the Frisco area. They want to be close to the star. And hopefully that's just the outside stuff. Hopefully he got rooted in. Look, all this offseason, we've been talking about the Joneses. We have not been talking about Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn, and his new staff and all of that on the defensive side of the ball. So I just want those guys to not be drawn into the news cycle, and they need to be focused in and bringing back a new mentality. One of the bigger things that I pulled up from Dion, and he's very near and dear, close to my school, D. Jackson State University. And my thing is, shout out to the JSU all day, baby. But one thing that he did bring to the football program, and he will bring it, and it will spread like wildfire over to the baseball program and the tennis and the basketball program as well, is the mentality. The mentality. He's gonna bring forth new mentality, and that is what Dan Quinn must establish. The first day Dion was out there on the field at Memorial Stadium, he walked around and he said, "Dog, this field is not ready. It got lumps, grooves missing. Y'all got to have some fundings, right? I can't put my product out here on this." Made a few phone calls. New football field. That's wisdom. That's understanding of the game. That's knowing that, hey, I don't want my starting quarterback to go down because of the field, right? I want to make sure that we're practicing at an optimum level. The second thing, the equipment. What is this? Why are you wearing that? No, that piece don't go there. But no. We don't wear that. Oh, if you look good, you play good. Remember that? Let's tear these threads away. What type of Under Armour you got on? No, let me make a few phone calls. Culture changing, equipment, investing, putting stuff back where they're supposed to be, and everything will set up for its best. At this time, I like to do this on these type of shows. I like to have participations for the nation. Craig English, I hope he is getting those boards right. I got an invitation for you guys to jump in to be a part of the show. The link should be in the description box if you're on the Facebook groove, or you see in the comment section. And as well as, let me pin it over here. You guys see me pinning it over here. While I set this up, let's listen to some music while I set this up. Y'all bear with me. Y'all bear with me. Bear. Yeah. Bear with me. I'm almost there. Come on. The link is in the description box. This is your show. Load it up. Hey, ain't no party like a cowboy party, 'cause a cowboy party don't stop. Ain't no party like a cowboy party, 'cause a cowboy party don't stop. I know it's late at night, but y'all come groove with the nation. Y'all come groove with Law, right? Tell your mama, tell your cousin, tell your nephew, Pookie and Ray Ray and everybody. Shout out to you, Adrian Perez. I have Daryl. What's good, man? You live like 95 in the mix. Talk to me, D.
What, long time no see, Law.
Long time no see at all, man. Talk to me, man. What you got on your
boy
mental?
there,
What's on your mind? What's on your
boy, I
heart?
wanted to give you some love because he's been going through some things and working a lot here lately. He ain't had time to, reach out to you in a while. But I've been listening and watching you and Steele and all the Cowboys broadcasters and stuff because I'm a fan of you guys. Been fan of the Cowboys since I was 8 years old.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
watched the championship years of Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Daryl Johnston, Jay Nuchek, Charles Haley, Deion Sanders, Darren Woodson, Too Tall Jones. Knew about him, even though that was before my time, but, Roger Staubach, all them. But I'm more fan of you and, my boy Big Game James and stuff like that. And I want to tell you guys, hey, no matter who we got as quarterback, I want Dak because I love Dak.
Right.
He exudes like everything, like my personality. That's how I am, even though I don't make that kind of money. And I will never see that kind of money in my entire lifetime. But I'm always grinding. I'm always putting my faith in Jesus Christ because he comes first. And, I've made mistakes in my life and I'm not always done the best in my life with my kid, my only daughter that I have. But I've learned from my mistakes, and I've also learned that no matter what you go through in life, as long as you have faith and believe in Jesus and believe in yourself and other people see you for who you really are and respect you and what you're trying to do, that the Lord will take care of everything else. And I know the Lord will take care of Dak, and I believe in Dak. And I believe that we will win a championship if we had Dak. I'd rather have Dak than anybody else, but it is what it is, and the business is a business. So at the end of the day, no matter what, I'm always going to be a part of Cowboys Nation.
No doubt, man. That's a wonderful soliloquy that you put out there for everybody to know, man. And God give his biggest, I guess, challenges to his best troops out there, his best soldiers. So you are one of the soldiers. So everything you're going through is for a reason. And look at you, you're standing tall, man, and you're talking about supporting this team. So that's what I like to see. And you're still representing the silver and blue.
Because you touch my heart. The things you say, even though you're talking about football, you speak to me in the way that you word things, and I understand where you're coming from, even though you're speaking from a football aspect, but you're also speaking in everyday life too, on top of that.
Right.
And where I come from, my family gave me everything, but I didn't expect them to give me everything. I believe that if you earn something and you work hard for it and you believe in yourself, no matter what job you do, whether it's car detailing, which is what I do, I detail for a living and I work for somebody else, but still at the end of the day, I love what I do. And if you're passionate about it, then the reward will be with the feeling that you get and the praise that you get, and people realize what you're trying to exude from that. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with football. It's regardless of what people say about Dak or the team, at the end of the day, it's what Dak and what Jerry wants, and if they really want to get it done, they'll get it done. And you just got to have faith in that,
Appreciate you, D. Appreciate you. I got some more people over here, but hey, it's always a pleasure, man. What you got on the topic, man? What you got? Well, one more saying, one more statement.
I mean, personally, me draft wise,
right?
I want defense, but I'm like you that if there's a really good player there and he's the highest person on your board and he's there, you take him, regardless whether it's offensive line, whether it's a tight end, whether it's whatever. Okay. Now the organization's going to draft whoever they want to draft. and we
Right.
have to learn to just accept it and deal with it, because there's like I was telling you, things like that I've been through, we may not agree with, but that's just the way it is, and we have to learn to just love it and support it. And if it works out, great. And if it don't, sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles, you know?
No doubt, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for jumping on, brother.
Yep. Yep.
Salute.
Peace.
That was a good call from him, man. Always good to listen in to people with life stories and things like that. And it's amazing how he was able to put that out there for the world to know that he'd been going through challenges and trying to overcome them. And it is what it is at this point. Look, we don't build the roads, we just drive on them, right? And we just try to figure out other ways to get to the place that we're trying to go. All right, so next we have is Miss Jessica. You're live on the screen here. Talk to me.
Hey, Lo. Hey, everybody.
Hey, what's good
How
with you,
y'all?
Jessica? We're fine and wonderful and dandy. What do you have for the show?
Well, Lo, as always, Dak is not going anywhere. We're going to have our quarterback for sure. Jerry and them know what they have. And you got all these dudes trying to get him. I'm tired of everybody talking about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is not coming to Dallas, so y'all get that out y'all head. Anyway, we need a strong safety. We need a strong OT. Dak needs a strong person there to help in the place of Tyron Smith if he not healthy, because we know he be there, and then next thing you know, he got to go out and he be out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We need another strong person there, and we need Lance Collins to come and ball out and protect Dak and get on it and show those boys on the offense line how to protect and how to fight back when they trying to come for our quarterback. That's what we need. And
you spitting some fire over there.
I'm so excited. I'm excited today. You know, although my sister and brother lost their father, they have never met any of their siblings on their dad's side. Law. Today was a very happy moment because they got a chance to meet their oldest sister. You know, I'm their oldest sister, and I'm the only sister they knew. You know, we got the same mom, different dad. So today was very happy to meet her and see my sister and brother face, because I prayed that they got a chance to meet their siblings. And I hope and pray they can get to meet the other ones. You know, the funeral is tomorrow, but today was a happy day because they got a chance to see their oldest sister on their dad's side. So now they got their two oldest sisters in their lives. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's.
And I'm looking forward for us to just go and ball and get this Super Bowl win. Because look, Law, we want to see things. When we see, I know when God showed me things and being able to see things before it happened. I was sharing a story about when something bad happened and God allowed me to see what was going to happen before it happened. And I tried to get my friend, told her we need to leave. Me, her, and her girls didn't need to be in her house because it was going to be a robbery. So I saw it. It was like I was floating outside. My spirit was outside my body. I could see myself and the kids sleep in the room. And all I could see was some people coming into our house in all black with gunfire. And when I woke up the next morning, she thought I was crazy or whatever. And when it happened, Law, and I saw her baby, she quit her job, and I was at work, and she come in and quit, and she told them what happened to her and her kids. And her baby came over there to me, and it's as if I could hear a little spirit saying, "You left us. You left us there. You left us. You should have took us with us." But I tried to tell her mom, and her mom wouldn't listen. But I'm grateful because I kept praying for them, and God protect them and didn't let them happen. But for gunpoint on a baby, they had the gun to this baby's head. But they are grown now. And I hope they don't have any of that in their memories because they was kids. But I'm so glad that God hear my prayers. And when we lost that game and I was walking home, when we were supposed to went to the Super Bowl, we was deep in the playoff with that, and we lost. It was as if I'm walking down and I'm inside of the stadium at the Star, which I've never been in my life. And I was there in spirit, and all the confetti was falling down.
Oh, wow.
And Dak and Zeke, all their faces came to me. So this is why I say it's going to happen, and we're not losing Dak, and they're going to win the Super Bowl. And Dak's going to be here for a minute, because I don't know what day or what year. I didn't know. I kept saying it was going to happen. That's why I keep saying it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Because when you see something before it happened, and it happened, like my accident I was in 4 years ago when I got ran off the road, the devil showed me that I had a hole in my head and my body was decomposed. But as you can see, I'm here in the flesh. And that was 4 years ago. My car hit the hydroplane, hit trees, flipped several times, and landed upside down. You're looking at a miracle.
Amen to that.
So we're going to have our team, and I'm going to get up off of here. But y'all got to stay positive. Don't listen to those lies. Don't listen to these people that keep talking. We know this happened every year when it comes to contract time with every player. But now that it's that's why all these crazy people are out here talking crazy. But it's coming. Just hold on. It's coming.
Hold on. It's coming. Appreciate you so much, and I thank God for you being here, Jay. All right, so let me give her one of these. Yeah. Yes. She fought it through, and she made it through. Wonderful story, wonderful vision of the future. And we all giving visions, right? We all giving things that we've seen or we hope to see, and these sorts of things. So hopefully this will manifest itself into reality. All right, Cowboy Nation, it's weird. You know, when I do shows, I get a lot of people that call in and they give me the spiritual background. I love it. I love hearing these stories. I believe it's helping someone out there. I got these boys. I'm going to jump in with these boys. What's up, these boys? Talk to me. You're live. Going once, twice. You're live, these boys.
Hey, what's up? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great and wonderful, man. Talk to me. What's on your mind?
Talk about everybody. Keep talking about the defense.
Mm-hmm. We losing you.
Yeah, we got a bad breakup here, but let me see if I can get it through. Everybody keep talking about the defense. It's not all about the defense. The offense needs to score and play complementary football and stop waiting 2 scores down to try to come back and put everything on the defense.
Are you talking about an individual game, or are you talking about a collective? Call back these boys. Call back, man. Maybe he have to jump back in and reconfigure his Wi-Fi there. My thing is with the argument, offense must score in order for the defense to be better. If the offense, I kid you not, if the offense can score at least 24 to 25 points, they did their job. Can I repeat? If the offense score anywhere from 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 points, 30 points, 35 points, if they averaging or they scoring north of that, they did their jobs. It would be hard. It would be hard pressed to say, well, the team is losing based upon the offense when they score 30. That's supposed to be a given, right? If you score 28, 30 points, that means that your offense is moving the ball. They're putting money on the board. Let me know if you guys disagree. These boys, call back in. The link is in the description box. Please hit the link in the description box there and jump on in and voice your thoughts, voice your opinions of this matter. Is it all on the offense or is it all on the defense? I'm a defensive-minded guy, and I think that if a defense can hold a team less than 16, 17 points, then your team should win, basically. You know, your team should win. That means your offense is doing a horrible job if they can't give you 20, 21 points. Let me see what we have here. Law, why not Law, they're not doing their job if the offense scores that in the fourth quarter because of the other team is up by 40. T. Dilly, can you give a list of games when the other teams are up by 40? I don't think that you can take one isolated game and say, okay, well, this team is scoring 40 points and this is the reason why the team is losing. No, the defense got to stop teams from scoring 40 points. At the end of the day, hey, how you think Brad Johnson got a Super Bowl, right? How do you think that what was the guy? Joe Flacco. Oh, Eli Manning. Can I go on and on? Trent Differ. How do you think those guys got Super Bowls? Oh, how do you think that even and I hate to throw this name around because I can't stand the Steelers, but how do you think that Big Ben Roethlisberger was able to get Super Bowls? Was he putting up gaudy numbers when the time that he won Super Bowls? Let me see if we're going to try to reconnect these boys. These boys, you back live on the screen there. Hello, going once, twice. Let me get Queen in here. We got to remove you, these boys. Queen, you're live.
Oh, Brother Law, you know I had to chime in one time for one time.
One time for the one time for your mind. Yeah. So what you got for the show?
I'm gonna keep it a buck, or as boss like to say, I'm gonna keep it funky.
Keep it funky.
Offense is like that sexy piece, that car, that Ferrari, right? But that defense is that security around your house, so you can keep that Ferrari in your garage.
Mm-hmm.
Because offense will get you to the postseason. It will. But guess what? It's that defense that's going to help you secure that bag.
Right.
And also having depth. And by depth, I mean there should just be minute reasons between your starter, your second, your third. Because between being on that 53 and being on that practice should be very micro points and reasons. There shouldn't be no swing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, case in point, let's look at the Super Bowl. KC was missing both tackles. So that
Mm-hmm.
meant there was immense pressure put on both guards to handle their responsibilities and half of the tackle's responsibilities. That's why Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh were able to tear a new you know what out of KC all day during that whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like, come on. They kept putting KC on their back so much. Tom Brady was just like, oh, do I have to go back out here again? Like at a
Mm-hmm.
certain point in the Super Bowl, they could have threw Blaine Gabbert out there. And it would have been no difference.
No different. And that's
Because
one of the things, Queen, that a lot of people don't understand is that defense controlled the tempo of the game, and it flutters the offense, or dare I say the quarterback, for going through his progressions a whole lot faster, going through his reads a whole lot faster, and that creates problems, tipping the ball in the air, takeaways, getting the shorter field back to your offense. So it costs so many type of nuances, but you got to have a team that can create that constant pressure, and it got to be consistent.
exactly, because I'm gonna be honest. When I was looking at the Super Bowl, I'm
Right.
like, my grandmother, who is 80, could have been behind that offensive line. My 80-year-old grandmother could have been back there.
Yeah. And
Okay.
here's the thing, though. I got to be cautious, and I got to put this out there. I'm not discounting. Trust me, and I think you're not discounting Tom Brady. But what she's saying is that defense did set that up for him. And on top of that, the defense did rattle the other quarterback, one of the better quarterbacks we ever seen in our lifetime. And that's what defense is supposed to do, get the ball back to the offense.
Right. And it was in the first quarter was like, okay, I'm gonna try you, you gonna try me. I'm gonna see where your weak points are. I'm gonna see where my weak points are, and adjust and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
What Tampa did, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, they adjusted.
Mm-hmm.
KC didn't. KC's strong suit during the first quarter was the run game,
Mm-hmm.
but you abandoned the run. They did the same thing that Atlanta did. They did the same thing the Rams did. They did a lot of things that against a Tom Brady or any other offense that is predicated on the throw of the ball, on the pass,
Right.
and the run is what got you there. Why you abandon what was that was your bread and butter?
You can't abandon your bread and butter. And and you bringing in so many strong points. Just like let's go back to, and I'm gonna let my guy T Diddy come in here. He's waiting in the lobby area there. Last year,
Mm-hmm.
when the Kansas City Chiefs played against the 49ers, do
Mm-hmm.
you remember the 49ers? They was red hot, good defense, good run support on defense as well. But they were able to also run the ball. But what Kansas City did was they actually stopped the 49ers from running the ball, made Jimmy Garoppolo one dimensional, and it created so many other nuances. And that's what made them to come back in that game. But go ahead with your other point.
But yeah, but even when you use the run, it's like you're running, you get them to bite on the run, then you hit
Hmm.
pass. And
There
if
you go.
they bite on the pass, you go back to the run. You don't stay strictly on the run. You know, get them on where they sitting on their heels, like, okay, now what they gonna do?
No doubt.
But I will say this. One thing you got to be able to do, you can pinch from the outside with your defensive ends, but if you don't have those big boys to compress
Hmm.
that middle, the quarterback can just slide up real quick and do a dump off, do a run, do whatever.
Hmm.
And then also, it's like, come on, true free safety, not a strong that you forced into being a free. There are people who have been a true pure free, and then there are people who are strong while they do have some free experience and have some technique in playing the free. You can tell when they're really a strong safety person. Like Donovan Wilson, we found our strong.
We did. We found our guy on that one. Hold that thought, Queen. I'm gonna let TD in here and just hang back, okay?
Hmm.
All right. So we got TD, man. What's good with you, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Nothing to it, man. I know you came over here. You said, man, I need to spread some knowledge over here for the Cowboys fans.
What?
Let me jump on Law Nation page and help Law out, man. So help me out, man. What you
Well,
got for
nah,
the
you
show?
good, you good. So, I mean, now look, you're so right on a lot of things. Now I'm gonna take it back. I want to take us back just a little while, if we
Mm-hmm.
don't mind, because true, y'all made some valid points about that middle. Because man, we had people running on us like 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 we going on clearance, man. Golly, we had people gassing us through the middle, like. But so before Lawrence got his contract,
Right.
we had the D tackle David Irvin. David, now if you could go back, and I know you big on film, that's why I love it. That's why I love watch you do your research and everything.
Appreciate it.
David Irvin, Troy Aikman said that David Irvin was like one of the biggest human beings that he's ever seen. Period.
Mm-hmm.
David Irvin was taking on double teams and sometimes triple teams, and that's why that year Lawrence ended up with all those sacks. That's the year before he ended up with the contract, and then Jason Garrett, talked him into quitting because back then the policy on weed. David
Right.
Irvin, he said he was smoking weed because he said again the NFL teams don't really tell the truth about all the times when players get concussions. So he was smoking the weed to deal with the concussions and the pain and all that type of stuff. Whatever. Hey, I know it's against the law. I'm not justifying none of that. I'm just
Right.
saying
Right.
that a lot of people wonder what happened in the production of Lawrence. That's what happened. If you go back and look, the minute David Irvin quit, because he's 6'7", 275,
Monster, man.
and go back and watch, and now he's with the Raiders, my brother's team, and they just re-signed him. Okay, so what? We just allowed weed in the NFL this last season. The Raiders picked him up mid-season ish. He played about 2 or 3 games, and they just re-signed him back because they know what that's a monster, man. That's part of what's missing. He was clogging up the line. Him and Crawford, if I'm not mistaken, was together in the middle.
Yeah, Crawford was one of those guys. He's a tweener, but he got an explosive first step, and his get off is pretty good. He don't have a lot of bend, but he got power. He bull rush move. Kind of like a poor man's J.J. Watt. It's a poor man's J.J. Watt. So he was able to that year get 5.5 sacks in 2018. Yeah, I believe he was there. And my thing is, ever since then, we're like, okay, we get some of our worth, our value from that money contract, but it just seems as though he had hips, man. When those hips, look, you talk to anybody old, they tell you, man, that back go down, that's one thing, but when those hips, it's like life alert. You got to wear those little chains. So when you fall, you got to put that life alert on. Help, I'm falling. And he got those hips, but he got those bad hips, man.
Yeah, so look, my Cowboys fans, I tell you, and I just put up, actually David Irvin is 6'70", 290. But listen, if y'all go back and take a look at him, that's part of the difference what happened in our line. That's people say that Lawrence production fell off. I don't believe that's the case personally from me doing a little film study. I think before people was able to double team David Irvin, so Lawrence was one-on-one. So he was eating, Irvin's gone, so now they can double team Lawrence. Now he's having to work harder. But let me ask you a question real quick, because I know a lot of people give Zeke a lot of flack, say he's not the same. But this is my question, personally, because I know you do. But we don't look. Do we look at how much the old line has diminished? We talk about Zeke from year 2 or 3 hit the wall or whatnot, but look at how good our line was compared to now. Mix and matching pieces, trying to make things work. I mean.
Well, I got 2 pieces on that offensive line. Then I'm gonna let JP in, and then I'm gonna go to these boys, and I see Uncle Charles. You waiting down there too. Here's the situation. There's 2 combinations. La'el Collins, in my opinion, need to be kicked back inside. It's just a nastiness. He have that type of mentality, and I know they already paid him as the right tackle. He get right tackle money. I know that he would never get kicked back inside. But for me, I would love to see Ezekiel Elliott with that big boy to his left. At least, look, I look at it like this. At least have one side of your line dominant. At least have one side. but they spreaded it out. Like, come on, man. Just think about it. If they had one side dominant, Ezekiel Elliott can just be able to just run explosive and just hit the whole hit. But now we was talking about somebody pushing somebody back. Connor Williams, as much as I love the kid, met him, good personality, soft-spoken, not really going to get in your face type of guy, but you piss him off enough, he will, right? But Connor Williams, he's a technical guy. He's technique. Right. He's not a nasty guy, right? He's so finesse with his movement. Nasty. He's finesse. I want nastiness, and he got to get a wider base. He got to get stronger down below, because I still see teams when they want to. You know how you just save it. He said, "I know I can beat him by 3 times in this game. Yeah, I know I can beat him 3 times, but how you say I ain't gonna want to use it all at one. So they don't even use that move in the first quarter. If you just watch these games and watch around the third, or when they really need it, you got that big joker. You play it. You play spade. You got that spade. You got that big joker. You said, man, I really need to get this book. Let me just go ahead and bull rush. They win 100% of the time. I'm going to just bull rush Connor, move him out the way, and get to the quarterback. And you will see it in the fourth quarter, just be waiting on it. And they say, give me this card, give me this book. They got a guaranteed book whenever they see Connor Williams inside. And the other part of it, because I know I'm long-winded on it, but the other part of it is Kellen Moore. I love the kid, brilliant guy, but I just don't think that
true.
he would draw up the best running plays for Ezekiel Elliott. Case in point,
Right.
you pick up Ezekiel Elliott. Don't worry about the offensive line, but you give him to the 49ers coach over there. What's that guy name? What's the kid name over there at 49ers land? Shanahan.
Yeah, right.
Would you be having reservations on Ezekiel Elliott in that system?
No.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. All right. Yeah. Because man, hey, God, because he could catch too. He could. Hey, you know, hey, they'll use him. Like, okay, my line's busted up. Let me catch him on some sweet. I mean, some a little. We call him a little.
Oh yeah, a little tall sweep, or you put him inside and belly slam or something.
Yeah.
If you had some help up front. But let me let JP jump in and just hang back, TD.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all go ahead. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. All right, JP, man, what's good with you, fam?
Hey, what's up, Law, man? Hey,
nothing to it, man.
I'm a fan, bro. I've been trying to catch up with y'all. I'm finally here. I'm glad. Shout out to J State with DR. You know, I'm down here in Houston. You know, TSU town, but hey,
okay,
got to go where Dion at, man. It's kind of hard down there in Houston right now. We had that big freeze and it busted a lot of pipes out here.
Oh yeah, man, I'm praying for y'all, man. I thought you were about to say Prairie View, man. We used to just eat Prairie View for lunch over there, man.
Yeah, man. Well, everybody ate Prairie View for lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you eating, dog? Prairie View, but go ahead.
Yeah. Man, this is why I don't like the Cowboys offense. I mean, the offseason decisions. Because Jerry makes all the decisions and we have no power. We can talk about it, you know, but it's just, oh man, I don't like it. But what I got to say is about Dak situation. I really think, man, we ought to sign Dak. And if we let him go, it'll be a big, big mistake. Big mistake. I mean, I think he's better than Romo. Oh, cool.
Oh,
you know?
Lord, man. Why you going to bring that energy to this table, man?
Well, I'm
Come
sorry,
on, man. We were doing good, JPP.
I'm sorry.
JP Perry over here bringing all of that. Now, you know you're going to have the Romo folks all at me and all at you.
I know, man, but I got to say, this brother here is a leader, man. He's a leader, and he brings a lot to the table. I say give Zeke a pass. We was down on the offensive lineman. Let's shape up the offensive line. Let's get some defensive guys in. But number one priority, sign Dak.
Dak.
Man, just sign Dak, man. And if they can't do it, I don't know. I mean, the Russell thing, I think that's a long shot.
Yeah, they want 3 first-round draft picks, and then you got to pay them, you know?
That's what I'm saying. You got
3 first-round draft picks, then you got to pay the guy. And then I just don't want to deal with the Seattle Sea Chickens anymore with any draft picks at all, because we did that before with Joey Galloway. We gave him 2 first-round draft picks, and I just sat there and watched our draft picks go to the Super Bowl because there was Sean Alexander. He would have been a great replacement for Emmitt Smith at the time, but we gave those draft picks away for Joey Galloway.
Yeah.
And then for Joey Galloway to get into the injuries that he got into, for him to ultimately to get removed from the team, to go to the Buccaneers and ball out. I'm sitting there like, whoa, what happened to us? What happened to Joey Galloway with us?
Yeah. Bad luck, man. Can't just be giving them away the draft picks like that, man.
But people try to realize they didn't know that those draft picks was manifested into the Seattle Seahawks going to their Super Bowl. Although I know 2 Cent is somewhere down there in the chat. Although they lost to the freaking Steelers.
Yeah.
Because of some crazy stuff that happened. But that's a story of a different day. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, that's weird, man. You know, they give the Giants win. I thought we were supposed to go. That was our Super Bowl, but I don't know, man.
Look, when you talked about Romo and you said Dak Prescott is better than Romo, I actually fought for Romo. I'm talking about my brothers. We got into fisticuffs, literally fighting, you know.
Man, well, I did too.
Let me name, I'm going to tell the games that I fought. And my brother, he said, "Hey, how about them Cowboys?" I just literally was for to swing them blows on them, dog. I tore up some furniture. There's an apartment building somewhere in Jackson, Mississippi that I owe some fines for because I destroyed that department. But it was the 2007 game against the Seattle Seahawks again. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness! Oh, it was also the Minnesota Vikings game. To this day, I still when somebody play that horn, woo, and I hate the guy Jared Allen. I can't stand that guy. And it was
Oh
also
man.
you remember the I got into a fight with a guy at a bar with
God, dog,
that.
you fighting law? God,
It was fighting law. It was old school law, you know. That
Yo.
damn Washington team. It was a game that Tony Romo he threw an
Oh man,
interception.
he threw the
He threw
interception
he
to
threw the like DeMarco Murray was right in the flat.
I
He
remember
literally looked to DeMarco Murray, looked to the linebacker coming down, and he said, "Hey,
with that
linebacker,
Fletcher.
what's good?"
Uh,
Whoever Fletcher.
Water, yeah.
But that interception wasn't the one. It was the one that he shorted the ball to Miles Austin onto the edge there. I was sitting there like, oh, it was a go route. I was like, God. But a lot of people got amnesia. The other game, and look, the other game that I would never forget was that Detroit game. Bobby Carpenter. Oh my goodness.
See that now? You just confirmed that this boy here is a heartbreaker. You
That
get what
broke
I'm saying?
he broke some hearts. And
Yeah,
they
he
talk
broke
about
some
Dak Prescott
hearts.
breaking some hearts. I said,
You
man,
just,
they don't know.
well,
They
you
just
have a
don't know.
hard attack with Romo. You hear me?
Oh
We
my
done
goodness.
came up. You know what you gonna get with that. You know, and
Right. He
he has
ain't
good
gonna give you
supporting
that
cast.
though. He ain't gonna give you those heartbreaks. I
Yeah,
guarantee you
no,
that.
no, you know what they're gonna get. And he got a good supporting cast, man. Come on, you got Lamb on the other side. You got Cooper. You got Gallup. Come on, that's a quarterback's dream, man.
Mm-mm. Quarterback dream, fam.
Go
Let
ahead,
me see
man.
what
Hey,
let me let
man,
D
appreciate
boys.
you. I'm a big fan, man. I'll let y'all talk, bro.
Appreciate you, fam.
Keep doing.
Appreciate you. Good. That's a good dog right there. Queen, what are you feeling? Queen, what are you feeling?
Whew. Let's see. I've been stuck in this situation. I've been born in this thing since 1990. I left the hospital in a Cowboys onesie. I live in a divided household. Mother raised me a Cowboys fan. My father's a Raiders fan. So could you imagine
Oh Lord.
how much joy he was exuding in the
Right.
house when David Irving went to the Raiders? I just went to the basement and closed the door and had some personal time because I honor and respect my father. But the fan in me was saying some not so kosher words. Um,
Mm-mm.
I'm just like I'm like you, Law. There's some things we can correct on offense, and there are some pieces missing on defense. We don't need to blow up the entire team.
Yeah.
And as a Cowboy fan, majority of the fan base is spoiled. I'm going to say that
They
we are
are.
spoiled.
No
You
doubt on
like
that. We so
every
spoiled
off
with that.
season, it's like so spoiled, got mouthful of cavities. And majority of the fan base drink the Kool-Aid that Jerry and Stephen Jones like to hand out every off season. It's just like
I'm drinking it now.
how, if you remember, uh, the Browns used to be off-season paper champs, and then when the season start, they couldn't win a game even if you paid the referees.
They
And
can't.
now we're almost in a slippery slope where we can dominate the NFC East because of the situations in the other three clubhouses. But if we don't get our act together, if Jerry and Stephen Jones don't get their act together, we're going to be back in that purgatory of that gap that we had between Aikman and Romo.
Yeah,
And
purgatory.
sometimes
Oh my
people want to
goodness.
get on Romo's so exactly, and some people want to get on Romo's case, but some people forget that at times we didn't get the offensive line fixed until the end of Romo's time.
Facts.
So if imagine if some people want to play revisionist history because it's interesting when somebody is gone, now everybody will say, Romo hung the stars, the moons, and clouds. It's like, come on. If if he had what Dak had 4 years ago, prior to him 4 years prior to him getting hurt, or three, shoot, even 2 years prior to us getting Dak,
Right.
he would not have hung up his cleats. But unfortunately, it was recognizing the situation too late. It's if you see the situation and it becomes a problem, fix it while it is still a problem before it becomes a major issue. I've been trying to explain this to different Cowboy fans. Teams that consistently go to the playoffs, consistently make deep runs in the playoffs, and are consistently talked about going to the AFC championship or the NFC championship or shoot being Super Bowl contenders, they fix their problems while there's still small problems. When there is smoke, they put that smoke out before it becomes an inferno. And teams that wait until it becomes an inferno, next thing you know, they're in cap, you know what? They don't have anybody. They get a bunch of old bodies that live on their name from 10 years ago.
Man, you spitting nothing but the
And
truth, Queen.
I'm
Let me
just
let
like,
Uncle
for
Charles
the,
in right
for
quick.
the,
I'm gonna let Uncle
come
Charles
on,
in, and we're gonna
Jesus.
bring him. Let's get old Uncle Charles. Let's go,
What's
Uncle
up,
Charles.
man?
You nothing to it, nothing to it. Just living, ready to hear your story.
Well, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Lord?
Oh yeah, we can hear you. Oh, I had updated the settings here, so we stream it now at 1080p is sharp. And those who don't have camera access, they don't put their picture up there. So but we can all hear you. So that's why you don't see the logos there because of the quality of the stream here. But I believe everybody can hear you, and everybody is here. Queen, she's still on the line. So go ahead, man. Speak your mind.
Well,
It's
let
a
me just
party.
say this because I'm not going to hold Queen up because she was making a valiant point. Let me explain something to you. This just didn't start today. This started way back when Troy Aikman was quarterbacking. What did they do? Troy Aikman played and he got down to the last 2 years of his contract. What did they do? They went in there and worked that contract out. And Troy was back out in the field. He didn't have to take him out there and threaten him and do none of that. But then when Emmitt Smith contract came up, all of a sudden they didn't have the money. Now either this is business or it's a lack of communication. Let me explain something to you. Let's just get down with this thing. Let's get down with this thing. You can call me out and say, Uncle Charles, I want you to come out to my business. You running the business. And you sit me down and you show me what you want done from step 1 to step 10. But I'm looking at you, I'm hearing you, but subconsciously, I don't check out. Now, either it's a lack of communication, or I don't get it, or you ain't teaching me nothing. This is what you call a lack of communication. Let me explain something to you. I got a next door neighbor, Fred. He lived next door. I was standing over at the other apartment townhome. And I told Fred, I went out to take my garbage out Thursday evening, and I seen a whole family of raccoons. They was out there. It was a big mama raccoon and the daddy raccoon. He was inside the garbage. So he was handing her food, and then she was taking the food and handing it to the babies down on the ground. But I noticed what the babies did. They lined the food up like it's a menu. And they had a sugar donut, some mashed potatoes, and a sweet potato pie. How the hell did they get that sweet potato pie? After I saw that, I didn't want no sweet potato pie no more. So I went over there and I knocked on Freddie's door. I knocked on the door. I said, Freddie, listen, you can't go out there and dump the garbage. He said, why? I said, there's a family of raccoons out there. He said, well, I got all this garbage again and I need to dump my garbage. I said, look, Freddie, I done told you, don't go out there dumping that garbage at night. Well, I went on home. 6 hours later, I hit an ambulance and fire truck. I come to find out that Flatty over there got jumped on by them raccoons. They don't beat the brakes off them, don't swole them up like some sunrise biscuits. In the hospital, I went on up there, and 2 days later, went up there and seen him in the hospital. I talked to his wife. She said, well, he's doing a little bit better. I said, Freddie, first of all, man, is you all right? He said, I'm all right, Charles. I said, what did we learn from this situation, Freddie? He said, I learned there was lack of communication. That's what I'm talking about, bro. And that's my call.
Woo, woo. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Love you, bro.
Man, hey, he finished for Freddie. Now, Queen, that's a call right there, right, Queen?
All right, bro.
Oh, hey, Uncle. Hey, now, this is what I broke down from the story, Queen. This is what I broke down: is don't mess with family.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep it PG-13 because see, people might rewind the show and watch it during the daytime, but don't mess with family. You can put the F word in front of it. And one thing that I know, when people lie to kick it, they lying, because Jerry Wayne Jones said that Dak Prescott is family. And one thing I believe, if you have a family member and you seeing somebody else sullying and denigrating and dragging their name all throughout the media and doing this and doing that, regardless of business or not, you're going to protect said family. You're going to look, you're going to step in and intervene. You're going to step in and get in the way. And Jerry, I know that this is business, but you can't be out here saying that Dak Prescott is family. And I haven't seen him go to Belize, and I haven't seen him go. Now, I know it's COVID or what have you, but I didn't see him go to Cabo. You know, I didn't see him with you with the family portraits and things like that. But I damn for sure saw Tony Romo do it, right? So what type of family member is he? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me know, Uncle Charles, what kind of family he is.
He's the one that got smoked up.
He said, Dak, don't take that food out, right?
Okay, don't take it out.
That's what I'm talking about. I love breaking down your analogy, even though I may be wrong on them. But, man, it's always a conversational piece, man. That's why we love you, man.
Yeah, man. I'd like to thank Queen, because Queen got the knowledge. She the best on the thing today, man. She got really, really good knowledge, man. And I'm just soaking this stuff up. And I like to kudos to her for being who she is and being very smart.
Man, that's why I keep her on the party line, man. Appreciate you, Uncle Charles.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Let me bring Ed in, Queen. You can just stay on the line. You just be the co-host over tonight. Ed, what's good, fam?
What's up, Long? What's up, Cowboy Nation?
Eric, look. This is the thing. My brother he didn't like the Ravens. He always loved players on the Ravens, and every time I see a person named Ed, he will always say Ed Reed. You know what I'm saying? So every time I see a name Ed, I think of Ed Reed. But what you got for the show?
Oh man, I just want to talk about the scouts of the Dallas Cowboys and how we ain't had a Super Bowl in 25 years. And I've been checking it all. And, you know, the last time we really had some good drafting was in 89, 90, and 91. 3 years.
God, dog, you were way back.
Yeah, that was the last time we won a Super Bowl. So I'm trying to figure out why we ain't had a Super Bowl yet. So in 89, 90, and 91, we got all the players we needed to make that dynasty run. Now, I know that we get a good player here and there, but if we're not picking in the top 15 in the first round, we're hit. Just like when we got Leighton Vander Esch. We could have moved up and got Darwin James. We could have. Leighton V.E., he's pretty good, but is he the best linebacker? No. For a first-round pick, you should be a top 5. If you're drafting good, if you're scouting good, you should be getting the best of the best. Yeah, we get good players, but we don't get the best players. And I don't know why everybody is blaming the coaches, Jerry, this, that. But Jerry gets all his knowledge from the people who are doing the work for him. And it's got to be the scouts. You can't win games if you don't have the best players. You can coach
But
somebody to
Ed,
the best
Ed, 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 but that's the lowest denominator though. The scouts, man. You know, Jerry, he hires the scouts. And what only thing that I can say just to play devil's advocate to that, Ed, Jimmy Johnson was there in
Oh
89,
yeah.
90, and
Oh,
91. So
oh
so
yeah.
so 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 I'm not gonna give Jimmy Johnson all the credit, but I'm gonna give him all of
Oh
the
yeah.
credit because they
Well,
have yet to repeat that. And of course, that blockbuster trade with the Vikings with
Walker.
Herschel Walker and Jerry was so strung out for that. Even when Jimmy Johnson left, he went and dip and got Herschel Walker again. You know, back in
Right.
the late '90s. So my thing is Jerry Jones is in the way. You know, I just want him to just look at it like this. And I believe Queen can contest to this. And she could probably pull her father to a corner and say, hey, how did it really felt when Al Davis left, you know, this planet so that somebody else can be the owner, you know? Queen, what did you ever had that conversation with your father about that?
Yeah, what my mom likes to say is that my pops and I, a lot of our conversations are 70% football, 30% life.
Right.
And I definitely saw a change of my father when Al Davis was here, and then, when he transitioned to that next journey. I can definitely say my father felt a sense of, I don't want to say relief, but I could say somewhat of like a pressure valve was released. And it was like, whew, okay, now we can think about the game in this century. Because to what I would like to ask Ed, if you think it's the the scouting and pseudo GM, right, of Will
Right.
McClay, they are in, if you want to say, a derivative of the thought process of a Jerry Wayne. To crucify scouting, you would still wind up somewhat criticizing Jerry Jones
Jerry
because they
Jones.
are his think tank.
Yeah, because he's the boss. I understand that. But what if he's not? What if
So if you want to talk about the exact,
Go ahead,
what
Ed.
if what if
go ahead.
what if like there's a smoke screen over top of the scouting because the blame's always going somewhere else and they're overlooking it. And saying the scouts are bringing these players in and they're like, oh well, it's the coach's job to coach this guy up. And there's just the bottom line is just you can coach your ass off,
Mm-hmm.
but and you can make a good player a little bit better, but you're not gonna make him and you're not gonna give him the traits of
Hmm.
of the best player. It's just not. So the team that's really been drafting real good in the last 4 or 5 years is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then when they put that game manager on that team, it was like the missing piece. It wasn't Bruce Arians or none of that. And for real, it wasn't just Tom Brady. Now he led the ship, but it was all them draft picks that they've been getting and put them on the top.
You're not
That's
gonna
what I
throw in
think.
Okay,
the free agency moves too, because
Oh
the free
okay.
yeah,
agency
yeah,
played a major role in that.
and definitely, yeah, definitely the free agency moves. The drafting and getting that piece here and there in the free agent. You know what I'm saying? Because when you draft good, you still got a lot of cap room. That way, when you can go out in that free agency and
Hmm.
hey, grab the player that you definitely need to fit your piece, you got the money to get it, and you're not screwing your team over for the next 10 years. Oh yeah, and hey
Hmm.
Queen, I'm not I'm not a
Okay.
spoiled Cowboys fan.
Uh-huh.
The Patriots are spoiled. The Patriot fans are spoiled. They've been getting all the Super Bowl. I'm trying to get a Super Bowl. So I want to be spoiled with some Super Bowls, Queen. I'm not spoiled yet.
No, I'm saying none of us that are in these, forums or follow like Law, Big James, Sky, and so on and so forth. We're not the ones that are spoiled. The ones that are spoiled are the ones that have drunk the Jones family Kool-Aid.
Oh, okay.
If
I
you know what I'm
see what you're
saying,
saying.
in parallel to another Jones, but we're not going to talk about him.
Right, right.
But that's the case when it comes to draft picks, right? When it comes to
Right.
draft picks, and that means that a lot of the picks that we've taken were a lot of headline names that were projects, that are essential projects, and we've been team project or fixer upper. If you watch HGTV, we've been a fixer upper of people for since I was 5 years old. We won a Super Bowl.
Right.
No doubt.
I just
Let
I
me
just
let
hope that
J
Jerry
Mack in the
don't.
And
house,
it's
man. He
been a
been
lot of team headline versus getting people that fit our team. I draft 3-4 players when we run a 4-3 defense.
Yeah, we got J
Right.
Mack in the house as well. J Mack, this is a party line, man. Speak your mind. We have Ed still on the panel. And we have Queen here as well. J Mack, talk your stuff, man.
How you doing, Law? I
Doing
appreciate you having
great,
me on the
man.
show.
Appreciate
Now,
you.
I just want to make a comment to the guy, the gentleman saying about the Bucks draft good. I mean, before this season, I think they had one of the worst winning percentages in the league for like 8 years straight. I mean, they draft good because they were always drafted in the top 8, top 9. I mean, it's a hit or miss on
Right.
the draft, but it's easier to hit on a player whenever you're in the top 8. We're usually always around the 15 to 19 range in the draft. And a lot of people say that we always draft good players. I mean, a lot of people say that we have a good scout department. This is the first time I hear anybody say that we don't have good scouts. I mean, we drafted a lot of good players, Law. You know that. A lot of all pros, especially on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay got Jamal Dean in the 3rd round, and he is the best outside man cover corner. He's better than Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey covers the flat, and he can't beat nobody deep. Michael Gallup exposed Jalen Ramsey. Jamal Dean is a big corner with twisty hips that runs a 4-3 and can't nobody get behind him. And he's an island man for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which makes him play a zone defense to the right side of the field, which gives them any type of thing they want to do. Yeah, Tampa Bay has sucked, but they have drafted good. And that goes to show you that over the last couple years that they've been building these players up in the draft, and then they finally get this piece in the free agency, and now they got a team that went all the way.
If
Well.
I'm not
Let's not
if I'm
forget
not
about this.
mistaken,
Let's not discount their coaching staff. They had some ex head coaches to be on that
Right.
staff to get these kids in right positionings too. My thing is with the draft is one thing, but coaches are supposed to elevate and teach their philosophy. Now, my
Right.
thing is, I think we've been through, I believe, 5 or 6 defensive coordinators within the last 10 years or within the last 4 or 5 years. We've been through multitudes of coordinators. So that's different philosophy, different thinking, different techniques that you have to learn. And that's a hindrance. I believe
Right.
in the hearts of hearts, if we had a stabilizing piece, a solid center of a mindset on the defensive side of the ball, maybe some of the draft picks that we drafted, we would be looking at them and saying, okay, yes. Because I don't think that nobody in this chat box, when we drafted Cheeto Woozier, said, "Oh, God, dog, I couldn't stand Cheeto." And I don't think that nobody said the same thing for and this is before the hype of the media and everything. When we got what's the kid name from Michigan? I forgot his name at the tip of my tongue.
Jordan Lewis.
Jordan Lewis, yeah, Jordan Lewis, and as well, even with Xavier Woods, we were all
Right.
excited by those picks.
Hey, Law, that's because one coach has a system and he's going to get players for his system. Then when they switch up, them players are on the same team and they're not for a different man's system. So you're right.
Hey,
You got the nail on the head. I mean, if they keep switching coaches and they keep bringing players in for each other's coaches, it's just players that's not going to fit the system. Like Jalen Smith. Look at Jalen Smith.
Yeah.
Beast ass linebacker. He changes into a new system. They're using him wrong, and everybody thinks he's washed up. Man, that man is a top 5 linebacker. He can run 4.40
Oh man.
and spread the field and do anything, man. He can tackle good. He's fast. He covers good. But in the wrong system, when he's not covering right in the zone system, he can't do it all. So you're
No
right.
doubt.
It's got a lot to do with the switching of the coaches and the people drafting and scouting players to fit their system, and then they're changing it up because they just can't get it done.
No doubt, no
Hey,
doubt. See,
Law,
I
I want to
fixed the
say one
system.
thing.
Now y'all on the screen now. But go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, J Mac.
Hey, Law, if that guy, he was talking about that guy Dean, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he got burned over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in one quarter by Tariq Hill, and they had to change the system. I mean, they had him running man to man until
Nah,
they changed it to
Jamal.
until they put the
The
safety over
reason
the top. I mean, it's
the
easy to cover
reason why
man
they
to
got
man
Dean
whenever
is
you got that
because
good offensive
Jamal
line.
Dean.
Ed, let Jay finish his point, and then you can give
All
your
right,
point. Go ahead,
I
Jay.
mean,
all right.
me and everybody here knows if you have a dominant offensive line, defensive line, you, you're going to get to the quarterback quick. He ain't going to have enough time. Nobody was talking about Dean whenever the Saints were burning him in the regular season. Everybody wants to talk about the Bucks because they won the Super Bowl. I understand that, but like you're saying, Law, free agency had a lot to do with that. They acting like they ain't go sign Dominic and Sue. I mean, they drafted a couple of good players, but they also dabbed in free agency and got a couple guys to come in and help out.
No doubt, Ed. What's your rebuttal to that?
Hey, Jamal Dean was out for like 4 games, and that's when Tariq Hill burnt him. When the Saints burnt him, I don't even think Jamal Dean was playing in that game. They burnt
So who was he
Browning.
covering one on one then that he stopped
He
then that
wasn't
you're
playing.
supposed to
He
about?
wasn't playing in the game. When he plays in the game, he covers usually the blind side quarterback side, and nobody they don't even throw the ball his way.
Because I
They
know
don't even
Davis
throw
is
the
the number
ball
one
his
corner on
way.
that team.
Who?
Davis.
Carlton.
Yeah.
Carlton Davis, he's from Auburn
Yeah.
too, and he doesn't Browning took his spot. Only time Carlton Davis usually sees the field if they're playing in a zone coverage or when Jamal Dean went out for 4 games.
Yeah, Carlton's more of a zone cover corner anyway. But go ahead.
I mean,
Yeah,
Law, it's a hit or miss in the draft. People are talking about the Bucks because they won the Super Bowl. I mean, but we've drafted good too. We drafted Byron Jones, but we let him walk. He was a
Yeah.
shutdown corner. He just didn't
yeah,
get the interception. But they didn't throw
you're
him at
right.
all.
And I'll tell you something else. When you pay $100 million for a defensive end, and the tight end, the running back, and the lineman can double team $100 million man, and the 2 outside cornerbacks cover most of the field and most of the real estate. And when you got 2 lockdown corner, if you put your money in 2 lockdown cornerbacks instead of a pass rushing defensive end, instead of the linebackers playing zone, you can put the linebackers up to blitz and give the quarterback less time to throw the ball because you're covered on the backside. So I don't know where this trend started where these pass rushers are getting all these hundred millions of dollars when the two
I mean,
outside cornerbacks cover more of the field and they give your defense more of a chance to change it and blitz and take the runaway and put pressure on the quarterback because you're adding extra men going at the quarterback. So you got a +1 in the box when you got a man when you playing man cover and you can trust your man cover zone. A hundred
Well, you know
million
what?
dollar
You know what
pass.
happened with that when that 100 million, that big dollar money started hitting the field, is when Khalil Mack. If you just look at it, when Khalil Mack got his money, I know he's in the 3-4 system, but he was an edge guy when he got his money. I think that was not Von Miller when he got his paper. They reset the market, so everybody had to climb up to get to that money or to that pocket area as far as that money race, and that's when you saw the D laws, and that's when you saw everybody start getting that big checks far as being
Right.
the edge guy, because that's just how it goes. Defense, defense, defense. And I
Well,
believe what really catalyst was Von Miller when he got his big money.
well, back in the '90s and stuff, they played
But
a lot of
see,
man cover,
um,
Go ahead,
and the
Queen.
um,
offense. Oh, sorry. Go
true,
ahead.
but also people want to you're good at it, but also people are forgetting when you can talk about corners, you can talk about safety, you can talk about edge to dial some home, but if you don't have those two monsters in the middle, if you're running a 4-3 or if you're running a 3-4 and you don't have that true nose You know,
Yeah,
tackle
that's
in the
definitely a
middle.
big piece too.
You're not gonna push a grapefruit because the quarterback can easily, slide up and then, go from there. Because we can talk about, whether somebody's an edge and they're like the true edge or whatever. Because I'll pull up for one thing, Aaron Donald plays in the
Right.
middle, but he
Yeah,
brings
you definitely
much
gotta
more of
have.
an impact. And then, anybody that's on the edge that's playing, or the person that's playing next to him, that's the defensive edge.
Right. Yeah,
You
you
don't
definitely have to
have that
have that
person in the
piece.
middle, your defense does not work. That's just like with your offense. If you don't have, out of those five on that offensive line, if four aren't, great, aren't good or better, you're gonna be getting 6 ways to Sunday.
Right. But if you got them linebackers
So
playing
it,
close
it
to the
doesn't even
line,
matter. But to go back on, go ahead, Ed.
if you got them li- if you got them linebackers playing close to the line, and you don't have to worry about your backside, and you don't have to worry about your linebackers in coverage. Even with a weak defensive line, you got your linebackers shooting the gaps and making them tackles. Even the weakest defensive tackle in the NFL
But
can
it's not
hold
the
up
but it's
a,
not the
a block for
linebacker's
2 seconds.
job.
You're right. I mean, it was in the early '90s when the
Yep.
offenses wasn't scoring 40 points a game because the teams were getting good secondary and putting 7 and 8 people in the box and stopping the run and killing quarterbacks. You just didn't see big time scoring back then, and now the league has changed to where everybody. I don't know where all this zone defense come from in the beginning, but now teams, and if you give a quarterback 3 seconds, he's going to find every hole in the zone if he's halfway decent quarterback, and that's why the NFL is lighting 40 points a game up now. It wasn't like that. If you scored 40 points in the early '90s or in the middle of '90s, you did something, the greatest show on turf. And it was just crazy, and that's because the defense used to play hard-nosed football. They used to trust their guys on the backfield, and even if they wasn't a good secondary, you had blitzing coming so quick that the quarterback was just getting cracked. And I just think that Dallas should go back to the old style and lock their money up in some secondary and just start blitzing the quarterback and stopping the run. Because if you got more guys in the box, you're going to stop the run and you're going to get to the quarterback quicker. But you have to trust the people behind you.
Yeah,
And
but
I
but
just
but the
think
way
that
that style, you got to have
Let,
a safety that can cover some
let
dirt
me
and
throw
some
my
oh
grass.
laptop
yeah,
on. See,
Yeah.
yeah, you got to have a cover one
see,
safety
see,
and
see,
two
see now,
outside
see
cornerbacks.
now, see now. Mm,
Yeah,
If you
I feel what
start
he's saying,
but again,
Queen and
it's
Jay.
almost
But
like how they say no.
hmm
if you just
Yeah,
start blitzing the linebackers, all they're gonna do is just start running
it's
screens
like,
on you
I'm hearing what
or
Ed
ducking the
said.
ball for 5 yards and then taking 20 yards away from you in a big chunk if you just shooting the linebackers in the gaps.
Not
yeah,
if you got good people behind you. They're not
Yeah,
going.
because
They're
it's not,
the
it's
I
not,
coverage.
mean,
it's
the safety's not going to be lined up on the line against the receiver. The receiver just going to go up about 3 or 4 yards, run a slant. He's going to be wide open in that zone. That's why they run zone. If you can't just shoot linebackers, if you do that, they
I'm
start
not.
running the screen on you, and you're done. You're done. You're
I'm.
getting
I'm not
cut for
saying.
15 every
I'm not
time.
saying play zone. I'm not saying play zone. I'm saying play man cover with a running back spy and shoot a blitzer all the time. The more you blitz, the quicker the quarterback's got to throw the ball. And if you got them people behind you, if you got a good cover one safety with them two monsters, I'm just saying, if you put your money in three pieces of the secondary, you can put more people going after the quarterback. And I feel like that's what that's what Dallas needs to do. And they used to do it, and now they don't do it. Now they're trying to run the zone and stuff. I don't know. It's just
so you hear what
it's
he's saying,
killing.
J Mac. He wanted the Cowboys to run more of that man free, and I guess blitz the guys from the inside and the linebackers, let them run crazy. But in order to do that on a consistent level, like Queen is saying, and I believe that's what you're alluding to as well, Jay, is you got to have you a big monster eater inside, and
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
and
You
we
definitely got
don't.
to have a big man.
got to have you a big man, and you can't just have one of them because you're talking about a lot of stuff, and this team is just not equipped to do that right now. I just don't want to see Antoine Woods. I trust me, I do not want to see Antoine Woods with 25 to 26 snaps. I don't want him seeing.
Right.
I like to see Antoine with 15, 20 at the most.
Yeah. Yeah, Antoine Woods is too small to
none.
tackle a running back anyway. Antoine Woods, I mean, I'm thinking of Xavier was a safety. Antoine Woods is a big guy, though. I mean, I think he could do okay in a
5'11", 300. He ain't big enough, man. Let me bring on. Appreciate you for being on the show, Ed. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, brother.
Good talk, man. Let me see. Jay, what else you got for the show, man?
Hey, yeah, I was gonna say, what he was saying about Jalen, man. Everybody here on the show, if they watch the tape, they know Jalen can't cover. He's done. Once you put him on the tight end, that's it. The tight end's having a field day. Remember whenever that tight end from Washington, I can't remember his name. He was having a field day with Jalen Smith covering him. He had him running the opposite way.
Oh, you talking about Jalen Smith?
Yeah, Jalen Smith. Yeah, Jalen Smith can't cover for crap. He ain't a good cover linebacker.
The thing is with Jalen, he don't have the smoothest hips in the real life, and transitioning over to coverage, that's one of his biggest flaws right now. It was one of his strong suits coming out of college, but that drop foot, man, it's just really weighing on him. But go ahead.
Well, you know what they say: once you get paid, that's it. I mean, some people get lazy, they don't work on their craft. I mean, you know that, like you've seen it time and time again. I mean, once people get paid, it's like they don't want to work on their craft. They think they made it. I mean, that's why I wanted to see Bradley and I hit the field last year, because I felt like he had a big motor, man. I wanted to see what he could do.
I'll say. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Queen.
Law, I'll actually expound on that and say it's not even just getting paid. Dallas has the habit of, once they pay a person, they ignore that position.
Expound on it. Elaborate.
Lazy. It is a matter of them getting lazy, but then they also get on the security, because once they get that contract, they go to this thing of, I'm untouchable. Because I'm like you, Law. I'm of the Parcells, Jimmy Johnson thing of, if you don't do your job, I'm gonna sit you down and get this behind you that is hungry and put him in. Or as Bill Parcells would say, okay, you're good at this position, but guess what? I'm gonna get somebody who's just as hungry for the college ranks to push you, because iron sharpens iron. Either you're gonna stay on top, or this dog that's hungry from college is gonna take your position, and I can ship you all and get compensation.
No doubt. So complimentary aspect of it. J Mac, man, what's your final words for it?
I was going to tell you about the cornerbacks. Everybody's talking about taking a corner. They're talking about Farley or Sertan. I don't know. I think you check this kid out, man. I really don't mind us trading back and trying to get that guy J.C. Horn, man. He's a dog. I think he's probably gonna be. I think he's the better corner out of them three. I want to get J.C. Horn. I hope we can trade back and get J.C. Horn. I think he's going to be the better corner out of them three. Because Farley, I mean, he has an injury history, and Sertan, I mean, it's hard to really judge him because Alabama has such a good defensive line, such good linebackers. You really don't know how good these corners, how good he was, because everybody didn't throw him. And over there with Horn, they were throwing that, man. He's a dog. I think he's just a dog that we need, that's going to bring that mentality to the defense.
Yeah, his moxie and his physicality and his knowledge of the game. He can play all three inside. He can play at top. He can play left or right corner. So, and then he comes from a good bloodline. He got that moxie. He's in the face type of guy. We need that. And if you pair that up with a Diggs on the opposite side, and even if you want to bring him on slowly, because I don't believe you should throw him out there game one or what have you. even if you want to bring him on slowly, you got a guy that you can squeeze inside, and you still have your outside corners. And Anthony Brown can really show him some, NFL level techniques, and then he can pick those things up. And then through the midway of the season, you'll see him earning his spot on the field. I do like J.C. Horn. I do like the Trayvon kid from TCU. I
Oh
love
yeah.
those guys.
JC Horn plays with no give.
No give. You already know the dog. Rawr. Let me find my dog button right quick because I believe he is
No give, you know
he
what?
he's that guy.
You know them
Yeah.
SEC guys that play. That's a different level of competition in college. Love them SEC guys. I'm not saying that's everything, but I
Right,
mean,
right, right.
down there they battling.
They battle hard, man. But I always like the defensive side of the coin, and like I believe Queen was saying the last episode is that we need that true safety out there that you can trust out there on the field. They can cover a lot of ground, and we've been missing that. And especially you got a dog out of. Let me just hit it. You got a dog out of Wilson, but we need some more complementary pieces to go with that.
What do you think about Richie Grant?
I love Richie. I like what he brings to the table. I just want to see a little bit more out of it. I know that everybody got him as pegged as the best safety out there, but I'm not going to go into details of my one little. I don't want to be that guy. So I'm just gonna hold my reservations on Grant.
He
But
ain't
what's
gonna
your
be there
thoughts
for
on
us
him?
anyway. He ain't gonna be there for us anyway. You either got to get him late in the. We ain't gonna get him at 10 or 18 or nothing like that. You either got to get him late
Right.
in the first or early in the second. So I mean, I like that TCU. I like that kid from Georgia too. He ain't bad either.
Oh, you talking about what's his name? Queen. You know it.
LeCoute,
LeCoute. Yeah. I'm about to say LeBlanc.
LeCount, something like
LeCoute.
that.
LeConte. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you got Cisco from Syracuse, and you also got Sean Wade from Ohio State. I mean, I don't know about him. He got burned a lot as a corner, but safety's in that position. But there's options there. You don't
Yeah.
have to just get Richie Grant.
I have big reservations on Wade. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I
I have
wouldn't
big
mind getting him
reservations on
in like a
Wade,
fifth or
but
sixth
it's like,
round.
What's your thought on Grant though? Richie
right.
Grant, Queen. What do you like about him?
Mm, I like him. Um, However, I'm not in love with him, if that makes any sense. Like I'm starting, set up, who I think are like the better safeties and the draft and everything, but I'm not so hard hard set on, if he's there, okay, good, take him. If he's not there, okay, have plan B. But just
Hmm.
like people talk about Humsir Nasruddin from FSU. He's he's good. However, his hits is different than my 8-year-old grandma's.
Yeah. More of the same.
And she has arthritis. So
Wow.
yeah. And Cisco, I have some concerns with him. I am just, you ever see somebody and you're just like, there's a multitude of things wrong, but because I'm not going to say nothing bad about you, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. That's kind of the vibe I get from him.
It's for the
With,
Cisco
I like
kid. Yeah.
Washington, how, yeah, I like Darius Washington. I think a lot of people are going to let him free fall simply because of his height.
Yeah, but
I actually
I
put
want
more age
people to be
over Grant.
cautious of when they put him in the same sentence as the honey badger. They say he is the honey badger, and I'm like, there's
Right.
you don't want to give him that crown yet because I understand like the hypeness of it, and he plays off, or one can say I've seen people say that he's better than Trayvon, his counterpart or what have you. I just don't think that if you line up a doggone tight end over him, or if you put him and force him into a spot or a space where he got to cover and trail the tight end, it's going to be hell. I'm talking about a pro level, or when it's time for him to come down and field. I know that he have the mentality to do it, but can he do it on a consistent level for 17 weeks on a pro level? But there's a story of a different day. But he is a dog, though.
Right, and trust me, the same reservations you have are the same reservations I have, because even though people give him the player comp of Honey Badger, the same issues that people have that are hold on, let me think of it. The same problems that people see in Honey Badger's game, you see them more loudly in our Darius Washington's game.
Mm-hmm. And they say my dog over here, Shannon Sharp, Shade Sharp, said, what about Buddha Baker?
Oh yeah, that's a dog.
He's a dog. So are you saying, dare I say, a Darius Washington is a Buddha Baker clone?
I don't know about that. No, I'm not going to go that far.
He's shorter.
I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna go that far either. I'm not sipping that Kool-Aid.
Hey, Winfield did a good job last season, and he did a good job as
well.
yeah.
I'm not gonna sip that Kool-Aid.
Yeah, Antoine Winfield Jr. But these smaller DBs, they can make it back. They can make it.
Winfield benefit from coming on a pre-made defense.
Right.
Hey, I wanted to ask you if we're sitting at number 10 and they got that tight end from Florida. I forgot his name. Davis, I think.
Say again. Repeat that again.
I wanted to ask you if we're at number 10 and that tight end from Florida.
Pitts?
Yeah, Pitts. I'm sorry.
Pitts.
They got Pitts. Yeah, they got Kyle Pitts and Penny Sewell sitting at 10. I believe the Cowboys will probably go with Penny Sewell. And on the corner in the second round.
Yeah, Penny Sewell. If they go with him, if he's the best player available, I think that the Cowboys organization, Jerry Jones used to play offensive lineman, so he might lean more on the offensive lineman aspect of it, and they will have their choices of saying, okay, wait a minute, we had a promising growth in Schultz, and also we have the promising of a Blake Jarwin. Why not go ahead and get this offensive lineman? I'm just trying to think like the Joneses, because we know for sure Tyron Smith, he's not going to give us 17 weeks, as well as the right tackle. He's coming off of hip surgery. So why not? They're going to lean more towards best player available, but it's a need right here. So they're going to reach for the guard there or the tackle,
Well, they got a lot of good offensive linemen in this draft. You can get in the second round. They got that kid, last name starts with the E. I forgot how to say his name, from Notre Dame. They got him. They got the lineman off of Alabama. They got two linemen from Alabama that are actually pretty good. Yes, Eichenberg, yes, from Notre Dame. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to go in the first round. I mean, man, they're saying Pitts is a different kind of animal. That's why I wouldn't mind picking him up.
No doubt, man. He forces you to, if you playing him single one-on-one and he can move anywhere, he can line inline and outside. The brother can block. He vertically stretched the field. You can give him a poor man's wide receivers attributes, but he's going to force the mismatch. He's so tall, and he knows how to find the soft spots in the zone. So I think the Kyle Pitts is the animal, man, and some team is going to miss out on not drafting him because they're going to foolishly put him in the O.J. Howard category, or the kid that played for the Giants. I forgot his name. They're going to put him in that category, which he's not.
Evan Ingram, the guy that can't block.
Ingram, yeah. He's not those guys.
He can't block.
Yeah. And then he get the poor label of, hey, man, he can't block, and I understand what people get with that, a vertical threat tight end, and they can do everything. Then you got to poke holes at somewhere, and you say, well, he can't block. Blocking is mentality too, and I think he got that. Appreciate you, Jake the Great. He made a donation of $4.99 for your mind. He said Richie Grant is a dog. Would love him in the second. I'm not saying that he's not. All I'm saying is that, all right, we will see. We will see. And go ahead, Jay or Queen, one of y'all. Y'all go ahead.
Now, I'm saying we'll see how the draft goes. I mean, we don't know. We don't get this
I'm
Dak
going to
deal
say
done. I mean, we might
the
have to
first
draft a
10 picks
quarterback.
going to dictate how the draft goes.
Say again. Say again, Queen. I think I lost you.
The first 10 picks in the draft are going to dictate how.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me? Okay. The first 10 picks are going to dictate how the draft goes, in my personal opinion. But then also to backtrack further, March 9th is going to be D-Day for Dallas Cowboy land.
March
It's going
9th.
to let us know either A, we need to start looking at exactly the 9th, and it's 2 days before my birthday.
All right.
That is going to dictate whether we can, think of the draft as, okay, we look at the one or two additional offensive pieces and focus on the defense, or we need to start doing, more film in depth on quarterback and consider taking a QB somewhere in this draft. So I tell people, don't trip, don't spaz, don't get mad, don't get sad during these next, few days. You really need to keep your emotions in neutral.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Because
hard,
March
man.
9th is going to dictate which way Dallas Cowboy land. And I know it's hard. I know it's tough. You got every person who swears they're an analyst on TV that swears they know about football. They're not and they try to get you in your feels, but you can't let them move you off your square until March 9th.
To March 9th. All right, so we're going to start wrapping this thing up. I really appreciate everybody for jumping in. Let me give the final word session. I'm going to start off with Jessica. She's sitting there, and then we're going to go with J Mac, and then with T Diddy. I see you in here, and Ed, and then you'll wrap it up, Queen, and then we'll get on out of here. All right, so Jessica, what's your final words? I really appreciate you for jumping on and these sorts of things.
I just agree with everything you and Queen said. I just wanted to say, hey, Queen. Just wanted to come up and say hi to Queen and Jay and get out the way.
Hey,
Like
Jessica.
and like I said, number one, sign Dak Prescott. Two, get some picks that will help pieces to help out on the defense and offense, as I said, and you need the puzzles that fits, not what you think don't fit, not
Right.
because the way they is. We don't need no fool's gold. We need the real deal Holyfield so we can get on through the season and go into the playoff, win it all, and go win the Super Bowl. And let's get number 6.
No doubt, no doubt. Let's go get that number 6. Appreciate you, Jessica, always for jumping in. Really appreciate you for your love and adulations. All right, so we got KD. Final words. You just jumped in on this thing, KD. Jumped in. Unmute yourself,
I
KD.
sneak in on the fly like that, Law.
Hey, man, you got 2 minutes, man. You got 2 minutes to give your final words, man. Go ahead.
Oh, well, thank you. I was just sneaking on here because my YouTube stopped working, so I was just trying to listen in. So.
Oh, you were just trying to listen in. Well,
I was just.
let me let my dog speak then. The lunatic, man. What's the final words, man, for you?
Law, Cowboys Nation, thank you very much. First of all, I just got off of work. I was racing home trying to make sure I could get on. Thank you very much for saying. I appreciate all the great talk. Cowboys Nation, listen. You want flexibility with your money, don't you? You want to know what you have, what you cannot have.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be scared of that hard salary cap. The cap can be manipulated. Go look up proposed Dak contract, those numbers, 41.5, but a $17 million cap hit. Why? Because of that signing bonus that can be prorated. Listen to this phrase, voidable years. When Coop signed, we were like, wow, 5 years, $100 million. Then we looked at the contract. Oh, it's really 2 years, $40 million. And then we have an out if we want it. So there are ways you can work around this where both sides can make it happen, free up that money, get into free agency. You pay to fix your needs. That way, when you go into the draft, you go for talent. You may not need it, but you say, hey, that's the BPA right there. Let's get that.
BPA
so it's going to be an interesting week. I'm hoping Monday, March 1st, get that week started, because March 9th, I'm sorry, that's one deadline. And Jerry is famous for deadlines make deals.
Yeah.
Forget the chickens, forget the owls. Deadlines make deals.
Right.
So he's going to go ahead and say, you know what? I want another Super Bowl. What was that phrase? I would pay an obscene amount of money. He's going to realize that the amount of money is not worth the headache of not getting there and looking for another Dak that he has in hand. He's going to realize that. He's going to sign. We're going to make some moves, and let's make a run. Law, Cowboys Nation, be safe. I appreciate it. And always go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. Appreciate you, the lunatic. Always on his thing, man. T. Dilly, what's good, man? Final words.
Hey, final words. So, Cowboys Nation. Law, first of all, I love you. Love the show.
Man.
Love
appreciate it.
everything that you do and everything there. Final words, Cowboys. We know Jerry Jones is not going to do the right thing. That's what we got the history of. So we as Cowboys fans, we gotta pray. We got to pray. That's my we gotta pray. Hey, gotta help this man do the right thing. Right. That's where I'm at. That's all I got. Cause we leave it up to Jerry, he's gonna do Jerry things. So Cowboys Nation, please let's pray. Lord, just help them Jones do the right thing. That's all I got, y'all. Let's pray together. God said there's 2 or 3 come together. One could send 1,000, but 2 could send 10,000. Come on, please just pray for me. I had heavy when I was a good Cowboys fan. They stressing the hair out of me. Come on, y'all. Help me out now.
They didn't took the man hell, man.
That's all I got.
Amen to you, bro. Appreciate you, TD. Appreciate you.
I love Romo, but some of the fourth quarter 6-6. Yes, sir. Love y'all.
All right, man. J Mac, man, final words, fam.
Hey, first, before I say anything, Dak or not, it's still going to be Dallas Cowboys for life. You know that.
Right.
And last thing I want to say is I want to ask you a question, Lord. And I want a number. I want to know, at what number are you going to say, nah, that's already too much? At 42, 43, 45 million a year? To you, what number to you is going to be like, all right, that's too much? Is it 50? I mean, I want to know what you think, Lord, and I'll go ahead and let you go, and I want to hear what you got to say.
It'll be hell no. I appreciate you, J Mac. It'll be a hell no for 50 for Dak Prescott. I would look, Dak Prescott need to get the market rate that he's requesting. Anything less, I think that's why he's not signing. He want to get the market rate, the market value. So my thing is, here's the craziest thing of it all, Jay. Dak Prescott wanted 4 years last year. Jones wanted to give him 5. Dak Prescott won 3 years this year. Jones wanted to give him 5. So there's going to have to be somebody who's going to compromise. And I know I've seen people that make $80,000 to $100,000 a year. You can't tell them nothing. Jerry Jones don't make that. He make north of that, way up there in the billions. So I don't think that he want to come out of this deal losing and letting some guy named Todd France win over him. So I think that battle, that war, somebody's going to have to step up, and they're going to have to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, let's agree to disagree. and here's your money. And also, you can go downtown and pull up this rock. There's some more money. Or when you open up his door in his house, there's something else. Somebody gonna have to do something under the radar, But I don't think that the Jones is gonna do that. I think that the waters is a little sully, but we will wait until March the 9th, and we'll know everything without speculations. Appreciate you, J-Mac.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Ed, final words, Ed.
All right. Hey, thanks for having me on the show, Law, and I appreciate it. I got 2 quick questions for you. Mm-hmm. The first one is, if we do tag and trade Dak, do we lose the $37 million in cap? And the second question is, would you give Dak and Zeke to Seattle for Russell Wilson and maybe a second or third round pick?
No, I wouldn't give up Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott and a pick for Russell Wilson.
No, a pick for us. Dak,
they give us
and
a pick.
Zeke. Yeah, for Russell and like a second or a third for us. So we can get Najee Harris or Travis Etienne.
Nah, because they'll draft another Tristan Hill,
Yeah, they probably would.
And all I've seen, though, and I want people to just
I like
really.
it. I like it.
Yeah, Ed be putting that out there. But Ed, all I want people to do is it's on YouTube, the entire game. 2018, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Seattle Seahawks. And you put that, just watch it. Just watch it tonight, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. And just rewatch it and just go through that entire game. And that's what Russell Wilson would look like on the Dallas Cowboys. That's
Even
all
with
I'm
a
saying.
better offensive line?
That is subjective. That is subjective. This offensive line have not been healthy since 2016. Literally, really, real talk, 2015. This offensive line have not been healthy. But we can go back and forth by 2016. But all I want you to do is just look up the 2018 playoff game, Dallas Cowboys versus Russell Wilson. It's on YouTube, the whole entire game, the 2-hour version of the game, and also the 30-minute game is on YouTube. And that is what Russell Wilson would look like in a Cowboys uniform. But I appreciate you for your final words there.
Hey, what about the $37 million?
The $37 million. If they sign and trade or what have you, I think that the dead money will still fall on us, and I think that I forgot how that trade situation scenario goes until I get more and I guess informed on that. Do you know, Queen?
Law, how that would normally go if they would tag him for that 37 mil plus. Majority of that money will fall on the Cowboys. Portion of the money will fall to the Seahawks. However, for the trade to happen, Dak would have to okay the trade. That is what not a lot of people are paying attention to. For him to be traded at this particular moment, because he's really in actuality not with the Cowboys. For him to be traded, he would have to sign that tag. And when they come talking about, hey, we want to send you here, he needs to okay the trade. They can't just up and trade him.
What if they give him the transition tag? If they give him the transition tag, they automatically get 2 first-round picks back, no matter what he says.
He got to still sign, though, right? He got to still. The ball is in his court.
Yeah, he
can do a refusal to sign.
Okay it.
Yeah, because he literally the contract literally expire, and when the contract ends, you never want in all of business, you never want your contract to expire. You always want to approach the contract before it expire, and see if you can work something out. Because what you don't want to happen, if it just sullies the water, it sets the wrong tone, it sets the wrong temperaments, and it tells the player that, hey, I'm not all the way sold in on you, or I don't all the way believe in you. Now, the money grab for 1 year is cool, but, and I know some people say, well, they gave him an offer, they gave him a deal, but was it fair and balanced deal? So it's so many moving parts with it. I think that when we look at the total picture, maybe 5 or 6 years from now, 10 years from now, there'll be an ESPN 30 for 30 video detailing what all really happened behind closed door with this situation.
Right.
But I appreciate you, Ed. Thank you so much for jumping in.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Go Cowboys.
All day. KD, did you say your final words already?
No, but I mean, I was just listening in. But just to jump on what everybody else was kind of talking about, but really, Dak's not signing because he was disrespected. He needs to be. He was offered less than Wentz and Goff, guaranteed money. So I think that's where it all stems from. So everybody's saying like, oh, we can't pay him 41, 42. Like, I mean, if they're trying to offer him 40 and he wants 41, I mean, $1 million's not going to kill us. We're going to make a bad free agent decision anyway. So we might as well give that money to Dak.
Facts.
Not all the way. Not all the way.
Here's the situation, though, KD, with this. The thing is with Dak Prescott, I know he want to be here because he did not say to the publicly, or he didn't say anything, say, hey, I demand to be traded, or I want to go to another team. They did me wrong. They stabbing me in my back. He didn't say anything negative about the organization, about how he feels, right? But his brother is speaking out, and his brother is telling this and saying this. And 9 times out of 10, we never heard Dak Prescott rebuttal his brother or say, hey, those thoughts are independent of his brother, not mine. So we know that there's something. There's smoke, there's fire. And grandfather always told me back in the days, hey, measure man by his actions, right? Not by his words. So his actions, sometimes you can see that, hey, it's not acting toward, I'm pissed off, I'm upset. But his actions are speaking loudly when he just silent. Those are other things that you can take a look at. But go ahead, KD.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I mean, and then his silent moves, signing with the beer sponsorship, the enemy of so. I mean, I think it is kind of getting a little bit ugly behind closed doors. But I mean, I think Dak, like you said, Dak wants to be here. He hasn't said otherwise, but like you always been saying on the show, until they sign him, we can't make any moves. So I'm just really waiting for them to either sign him or move on. Like it's getting getting old. I mean, yeah, they got to do something, sign him or move on.
Right. And they can't say, okay, we're gonna see what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the franchise tag. No. Sign the man. If you don't, then have a course of action, have a press conference saying that you're moving on from him, or you're allowing him to test the market. If you big and bad, Jerry, put the non-exclusive tag on him. Let's see how much he's really worth, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you say you got the cojones the size of Texas, let him swing and let him
let him swing. Like let's be real. Now I'm glad you're on the show, Queen. Because let's say, for example, you're in a long-term relationship with this guy. Y'all been dating for 3 to 4 years, and now it's time for you to say, hey, I'm going to put the ultimatum down. And you already had this thing forecast out saying, this is the type of things that I want from you in return, because we've been in this relationship for a long time, right? But then he comes to you and say, okay, yeah, baby, I love you. I want to be here for you. But I'm not going to allow you to date anybody else. But you with me, but you're free to date everybody else, but you can't go outside the house. That's exactly what that's exactly what the exclusive tag is, right? You can date somebody, but you can't date somebody. That's basically what they did to Dak Prescott. They didn't allow him to test the market last year.
It's like another way of saying house arrest.
House arrest, right? But you all day online meeting people. Googling people, but you can't meet them.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna love me, but I'm not gonna love you.
I like that saying.
Yeah, it's like some fatal attraction stuff, but Dallas Cowboys and the front office, And the fan base needs to remember it's cheaper to keep her. It's
Yeah.
cheaper to keep her because people who
Facts.
want Russell Wilson, they talking about everybody's making conjectures, but Seattle's looking for either two or three number ones and 1 to 2 players on top of that. And all you're gonna get is Russell Wilson and a ham sandwich
Yeah. Yeah.
as
And
a
and
as a later round pick.
in a later round pick. And the Seattle Seahawks, they so dirty with it. Even when Earl Thomas wanted to come over here to Dallas land, they upped everything. First it was the second round. No, now it's first. Two first. We give you Earl Thomas for two first, right? And then with the situation with I guess Russell, who in my opinion more of a beta male, he came up to this situation saying, I know that some people would look at his football accolades as alpha male-ish, but it's more being in Seattle with only like 3 cameramans up there. When you come to Dallas, it's 30 cameramans. And also TMZ is going to be a whole bunch of stuff, Cowboy Nation. Look, just type in, y'all think I'm lying, type in Russell Wilson, Sierra, Beta Alpha, Simp, and you'll see tons of articles about
Oh,
that.
Sierra's the
But
alpha. Sierra's
my
the
point
alpha all
exactly.
day, every day.
It's probably be
Yep.
more of Sierra saying, boy, you better get down there to Dallas. I'm tired of being out here with all of the rain and cold.
But see, also people that are Cowboy fans, people who are true Cowboy fans already been seeing this for years.
Mm-hmm.
Football organizations and players will use Dallas as a means to boost their
Mm-hmm.
gains. Just like for the most recent example, JJ Watt. I don't thank you for the text, but my heart is always in Texas.
In
Or,
Texas.
Russell Wilson. I don't want to be traded, but all of a sudden he's connected to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Or, Jamal Adams before he went to Seattle. Oh, I love Texas. The Cowboys, woohoo. It's like, sir, at this point we're being used like a punchline.
Mm-mm.
We're being used
Always
like a
driving up the
punchline.
price.
Driving up the price, man.
Exactly. That's all that that's all they're doing. And like you said, Law, when it came to the trade for Earl before he lost his mind in Baltimore,
Right.
there was a so-called gentleman's agreement, but then when it came down to brass tacks, all of a sudden they wanted to skyrocket the price for Earl.
There you go.
And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, you done lost your 11 mind. It's like,
Yep.
do we need somebody of his caliber? Yes, but I'm not about to pay out the nose, and then you want my firstborn, my secondborn, my mama, my sister, my brother too on top of that,
Give me blood.
and then you want a pint of blood.
Yeah, it's
It's like,
crazy.
come on.
It's flat out crazy, Queen. All right, KD, appreciate you for jumping on.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, I just last thing before I go. I haven't got to listen. I hope Uncle Charles is doing all right, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
Appreciate you, brother.
Everybody, take care.
Amen. All right, Queen, what you got? Final word.
It's cheaper to keep them, y'all. Like, let's just keep real, face facts. It's cheaper to keep her, and how I want to say, okay, let's prepare for the what if they decide to let him go. However, you got to think about this almost like a fight, right? Like an MMA fight.
Mm-hmm.
Round one, 3 years ago, went to Jones. Round two last year went to Dak and Ty France. This year
Mm-hmm.
it's the rubber match because now it's like, as the old folks like to say, you got to ish or get off the pot.
Yep.
And
Right
so
on
they're not talking about, they don't have a plan B. What you gonna do?
it.
Andy Dalton's gone. You may have Gilbert, or Danucci
Gary Gilbert, yep.
still, but do you really trust? Like, I mean, I like GG. Don't get me wrong, but I was sticking behind the offensive line for 16 games.
Right. And that
And
was my battle cry
it's just
last year, but
it's
go
just
ahead.
come on.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
And
that's
and it's
crazy.
like with Dan Quinn. I know everybody wants to link every released Falcon with Dan Quinn, but especially Ricardo Allen. I well, I can't say that. That'll be, with my job. But let's just say I've seen Ricardo Allen a lot,
Hmm.
and he's only been playing free for 2 years, but he is a strong safety that was forced to play free. He does not have free safety technique. He is a strong. We have a strong in Donovan Wilson. Type of free that I'm looking at is Trey Boston or somebody of his skill set where you see they came into the league as a free. They still play as a free. He still has that good, consistent play as a free
Hmm.
that could, roam the secondary with Diggs and Wilson and, Boston and Wilson can, hang and bang together. And it's just like, get the people that fit the scheme. Stop trying to get people because of name. And the sooner we get that done, the sooner we can jump into free agency. Because the teams that make it to the postseason consistently hit free agency early. They don't wait till all the good people are gone and they're down at the bottom of the bin, and you're getting people that have been on IR more than they've been playing for the past 4 years.
No doubt. No doubt.
It's common
I really
sense.
appreciate you so much, Queen, for jumping in and being able to ride along with us on this show. Talk to y'all tomorrow. I really appreciate you, though, Queen. Thank you so much. All right, Cowboy Nation. I'm gonna get me some shut eyes, and I got a big plan and a big day for tomorrow. I really appreciate everybody for jumping in and being part of this show, giving y'all thoughts on Dak Prescott and beyond. The panel was great today. The call-ins were great and wonderful. Thank those who jumped in. Thank those who wanted to jump in but couldn't jump in. And we're going to get this thing going the best way possible, Cowboy Nation. The deadline is March the 9th. At the end of the day, Cowboys got to do something. Whether they sign Dak Prescott or not, we still would love the Cowboys, right? We still support this team. It's not like we're going to stop supporting this team. It's just the fact that right now we need to figure this out because we got to play in the free agency. And in order for that free agency to rock, we got to know where we got on the team already. And this all ends and starts with Jerry Jones. He got to figure that part out. And he got to learn to stop dragging this out throughout the media. No other team does this type of screwed business model where you say the player's not worth it. I've seen videos of Byron Jones. He's not worth it. I've seen videos of DeMarcus Lawrence. He's not worth it. He's not valued here. They paid him too much money. I've seen videos of Ezekiel Elliott. They castrated the man pretty much through the NFL with Roger Goodell and all of the fan base sullied and denigrated him and said he got this and got that going on. This model, man. I even seen Amari Cooper. People saying that, hey, he's not worth it. So every player that's on our team been pretty much thrown out there into the fire. And it goes back to the Jerry Jones administration. He got to stop it. He got to figure out a way to just stop it. Get these deals done behind closed doors. Figure out a way to do it a different way. Because what's happening here is players from the outside are looking in and sitting there saying, man, I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to go there. Yes, it's hyped up in these sorts of things. I will use, like Queen said, I will use the Cowboys as a leverage piece to say, hey, yeah, I'm thinking about going to the Cowboys, but they're not. They're not. They're thinking about how can we use this leverage to get to another team, because there's a lot of foolish stuff that's going on. Look, case in point, J.J. Watt, hey, I love to stay in Texas, knowing that there's Dallas here, right? This is what Queen said. Don't you guys know that he's getting offers for $16 a year? 16 to 17 million a year, more than one. The Cowboys not going to pay 16 to 17 million for J.J. Watt, but that value is there because he mentioned the Cowboys. So it's one of those things where is this team going to have to stop the political football, got to stop selling and denigrating their own players, and just get the real back to the football. Sports, understanding that you win the game down in the trenches on the offensive side and the defensive side of the ball. Figure out how to improve that area, then build from the inside out, of course. Sign your quarterback. Now, if you saying to yourself, okay, all right, like I did in my video earlier today, all right, I don't believe in Dak Prescott and I want to stretch this thing out. Don't drag us fans along. Don't drag us along. And if you already coming out on record saying that you want Andy Dalton, and even though Andy Dalton said, hey, this is Dak Prescott team, and you saying, no, we really want you. You got all of that energy to bring Andy Dalton back. So let's say you do bring him back. What are you going to do from there? Are you going to bring in another quarterback to be a bridge? Let Andy Dalton be that bridge quarterback? Let's figure this thing out, because at the end of the day, we are close. I feel that we are close. We are one or two explosive players away, whether it be on the defensive side of the ball or another explosion on the offensive side of the ball, and it can flat out happen. Less than 60 to 70 days from here. It can flat out happen. Really appreciate everybody for jumping in. Jim Laws, let me just give a shout out to everybody that's here. Ed, really appreciate you. Iceberg, Slim, appreciate you for jumping in. Toby, 616, Queen, thank you so much. T-Mac, Jake the Great, really appreciate you. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. That's all the time that I have for this moment. Let's go. Let's jam out to some music at least, you know. I can give you guys some of that. Let's go. Come on, Cowboys Nation. Come on. Yeah, we love the boys. We want what's best for them, right? Come on. We want to get this thing going the best way possible. Starts with the head. The fish rots from the head down, right? Got to figure it out, Cowboy Nation. We do. We out. Peace. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Jake the Great, appreciate you for jumping in. Thank you so much for being part of this episode. T-Mac. Yeah. Let's go. Shout out to you, Queen. Shoulder monster. What you know about that monkey shoulder? Let's go. circus. Yeah, you're right. Iceberg Q. Oh, this Iceberg Slim. Yeah. If you sign Dak Prescott, trade for a second round pick. Cal Pitts, he is Randy Moss, reincarnated into a tight end. Trump. Russell Wilson is our Tom Brady. Jake the Great. Mark, shout out to you. Y'all have a good night. Trump, see you, fam. Donnie, appreciate you. Let's go. AJ Beers. Y'all rock out with the nation. One way or another. One more time for your mind, Cowboy Nation. Nick, we got to get this one out. We out here.
Nowadays, nothing really is ice. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she freeze. Photo, please, no photos. No. G's, no, please, no photos. Hit the door and the doorman just whole team here might need some. Still young, but I move like a new deal to my lawyer. If you're down in my management, I'm just warming up a way till I old producers saw the numbers one. Different colors in my baggy light. Chalk it up, talk of the town where you're talking up. Wanna get you a ring and you tough enough. Wanna get you new things with your pockets dull. Run it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck. Now I move up and move humble cause the hate and the jealousy. My mama telling me count up your blessings and run it up. Nowadays nothing really is ice. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she freeze. Photo, please, no photos. No. G's, no, please, no photos. I keep giving game away. I put game on layaway. I got paid to play today. I get paid to stay away. I get paid on rainy days. I might make it rain today. I got paid off pain today. Thought it'd take the pain away. In my own lane, finger roll. I would never sell my only soul. Heard your whole team was for sale. Heard it's on the market for the low. Who the realest, we might never know. All this acting, you gon' play a role. Give you the world when they sign you up. Try you out and then they line you up. Ooh, now you're looking hungry, ribs are touching, need some food. Now you're all on live acting surprised, but you was fooled. Boy, get out the way, it's been a day, now you're old news. Now you got the pen and pad, you're trying to take my moves. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she freeze. Photo, please, no photos. No. G's, No, please, no photos.
Boom.
Nowadays, nothing really
Shoulder
excites me.
monster.
Only one of me and nobody's like
Number
me.
one.
Phone ringing and I tell him it's I got wifey
Count the
on,
Rings by
freeze,
Jessica.
Photo, please, no photos. Jeez, no, please, no photos.
Yeah, Cowboy Nation. My name is Law Nation. We're going to rock on out. Hope you guys have a good night. Have a better tomorrow. Let's grind and shine, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.